Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to the EU Gears Pro League. My name is Tony. I'm here with Fru once again. Week number 4 now. I mean, it's been quite good so far. I'm not going to lie to myself. Maybe a little bit of bias because we've been here every week and we've been enjoying every single second, to be honest with you. We've had close games. We've had everybody play each other, so we're now on a level playing field, so to speak, but we go again. We go into the second round robin. Everybody plays each other again. Fru, what are we expecting in this back end? We're at the halfway point.
Yeah.
We're going to teeter over that halfway point by the end of the show. What are we thinking as we're here now? Is this where we expect it to be?
I'm not too sure. I think
let's have a look at the table. Let's have a look at the table. Let's have a look at the table. Let's bring it in and let's have a look at the table so you know exactly where we are.
Yeah.
EU's finest at the top. I mean, you could argue that's probably where we expect it to be.
I think so, but I wouldn't have expected them to have that loss against their name.
Yeah.
And I also would have expected that round difference to be a lot higher at this point. Also, the bottom end is still pretty close as well. Obviously, there is that -8 round difference between Obey and Rated R, but points-wise, they're still neck and neck. Going to see that matchup today as well.
Yeah, I mean, EU's finest could drop down from that first place position, of course, if they go up when they are going up against our damage today. The two top two and the two bottom two currently playing each other this week. Last time round, though, when we seen Obey Alliance against Rated R, we had an absolute cracker of a game. That's going to be our first game, and I'm interested to see which way this one goes, because last time round it really could have went either way. We'll talk about that in a second, but we want to sort of talk about the leaderboards to where everybody is at this halfway point. Have a look at the KDAs, etc., and that is not an error on the left-hand side of the screen. Really is the top 5 KDAs from the whole European Pro League. Every single member of EU's finest sitting up top there. But the standout, I was tweeting about this before, look at Crazed. 3.51 KDA. He's got the second highest elims and the second least deaths. And the only one who's got less deaths than him is Crimson, who's in second, but doesn't have nearly as many as eliminations. Crazed, really popping off there. Top 5 average score, though. Saki really pulling his weight for his team from Obey. He's going to be one of the ones that has to play well this week for his team if they do want to beat Rated R once again.
Yeah, I'm looking at that top 5 KDAs. We had a chat with Guy on Changing Gears earlier in the week. He reckons that's the highest across the whole pro circuit, not just European, but NA and LATAM. So that's pretty impressive. And he's also hitting that average every single week, right? It's not just a one standout week's performance. That is the average across 3 weeks of play. So be interesting to see if he can keep that up today against our damage.
And bearing in mind, these guys lost to Rated R at one point as well. So this is like based on a loss and 2 wins. So I mean, it's a solid turnout in terms of how they've done KDA wise. Other side of things, though, I mean, if you're Rated R, top 5 average score for 2 year players, but, not looking too good for you. Same with Obey, obviously Saki being in there. Those two only with 2 points apiece, but still find themselves with players and they're performing quite well. So I think that's got to give you a little bit of hope going into other games to know that players are playing well.
For me, that's testament to how close some of these games have been, right? Seeing Obey, seeing Rated R up there in that top score leaderboard, It does. It proves out those 7-6s a little bit. We saw Obey go 7-6 against EU's finest just recently, and we've seen them go 7-6 against Rated R as well before. So, yeah, interesting to see, and I'm sure we'll shift a little bit today.
I'm curious if we get any of this second map fever you were talking about last week again this week.
I hope it's third map this time.
That's a point. We actually haven't seen the third map in the Gears EU Pro League here yet. So hopefully we think we actually might. Game number 1 is one we are talking about. I do believe we have the picks and bans available as well, so let's load them up. And we've already seen these, so this is what sort of give us our indication of what we think could potentially be a map number 3 coming up. But let's have a look at it. Rated R going to ban out Exhibit. Obey Alliance getting rid of District. Asylum coming through for Obey. No surprises there. They had a pretty good turnout against EU's finest last week on that map, so no surprises to see that. Icebound coming in for Rated R. That one slips the net, so to speak, because they do look very solid on this one through. Bunker and Training Grounds then go, and we will play Vasgar as we did the last time these two teams did play, and that was a 7-6 map number 2. So it's a good set of maps again, I think, for the series. Where are you leaning? Because I'm really struggling now, because I would give Obey Asylum, I would give Rated R Icebound, but then it was so close on Vasgar last time round, I'm sort of like just sitting on the fence. It has to be said. I'm struggling.
I kind of agree with your breakdown there. I think Asylum, Obey did look fantastic on it last week. Yes, they did choke it out a little bit. They could have won that against EU's finest.
I want to say that EU's finest maybe clutched up a little bit more than Obey choked.
I'd give it 50-50,
okay.
But I can see where you're coming from in that regards. Icebound, I'm very surprised that has got through. That's Rated R's best map I've seen them on by far, to be honest with you. Bunker, no surprise, Rated R banned that one out, given, Obey, they showed him how to play it last time they met up on that. And then the choice between Training Grounds and Vaskar for Obey have already beat them on Vaskar. They looked better for me on Vaskar. And also Rated R had a very good performance on Training Grounds previously.
Yeah, so it all makes sense. It all really does make sense in this matchup. It's going to be an interesting one. Let's have a look at every single map we are going to be playing and how the series will break down. Of course, Asylum will be first, Icebound second, and if we need it, we will move over to Vaskar. I'm gonna point towards a prediction from you here. I am going to just about. I don't know. You know what? You make some points, and then I'm gonna judge it off what you say.
Well, I would go 2-1 to be honest with you.
What?
I
to who though?
Oh, to Obey.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned it earlier in the week that I think this might be the first game 3 that we do see. So I'm definitely putting that on the prediction. I also mentioned that Rated R, historically have had the better score against both Obey, and against R Damage. But both those teams are clawing those maps back. I think Obey currently is outperforming Rated R, so I think it will go their way. But it all depends on Asylum.
Well, as we do load into Asylum, I mean, we said Obey Alliance, we felt favoured towards them on Asylum. However, haven't won this map yet. Bearing in mind, though, they have played AU's Finest on this once, and I do believe against R Damage they played this map too. It's a difficult one to call, definitely. I'm going to go with Obey as well. I'm going to say 2-1 because I just don't see them winning map number 2. I think we do go map number 3, but I think they will play Vaskar better. We did see them play that one better last time round. Yes, okay, I think Rated R's slaying kept them in it to a point, but it just seemed as if the actual way to play the map was done a lot better by Obey Alliance, I think. So we are loading the players into the game, as you can see. Ready to get this one kicked off in week number 4. And it really is an important game. I seen Toby tweeting about this one, and he was saying to himself, this is super important. Both these teams are only on 2 points, the other two on 4.
Yep.
Whoever loses this sticks on 2, while somebody can potentially pull away, and we can maybe sort of see a gap starting to be bridged, if you like. So have to be very, very careful, these two teams. I don't think by any means that their Pro League season is completely over if they lose this one, but it doesn't put you in a good spot as we get into it. So Rated R, of course, on the Cock side of things. On the Swarm side of things is going to be Obey Alliance. We will be restarting this one, so clearly there has been something picked wrong. But just let's go back to the game. So we sort of said Obey Alliance, we're leaning towards them. Do we see them potentially winning Icebound at any point, though? I think that we've seen Rated R play this against EU's Finest, but that's the only time we've seen them play it, and it was a week number 1. They just looked really hot. EU's Finest did not. I think it's hard to say, but realistically, based on what we've seen, we have to go with Rated R.
I would go with Rated R. They have been really good on that map, both in the Pro League and in the qualifiers beforehand.
Yeah.
The only thing I can maybe see going against them here is that it has been targeted banned against them pretty much every series apart from the one against EU's Finest.
So if they go on to win it again, do you think they're just never going to see it again?
I think that might happen, but I also think they may not have got that competitive practice that they have now on the other maps as well. I mean, they've played every map once, apart from Exhibit, which is their staple ban. But to be honest, it has been a long time since Icebound came through for them. So it swings and roundabouts in that regard. Are they good on an old map they've not played in a while? Or is it, Old Faithful and they can just carry on slaying out on it?
Yeah, and I'm just trying to think. I think it was District that Obey Alliance got rid of on first ban as well. So, I mean, they would have had the choice of whether to play that and where they did see them lose that game against R Damage last week, or did they go to, maybe they tried and tested and see if you can beat them there, and that's the case they've went with. So, it's a tough task for Obey Alliance, I think, to beat them on this map. But, of course, they will have to take Asylum. I think if Obey don't win first map, this could be 2-0. But realistically, yes, okay, we are saying that Obey probably are the favourites. It is their pick. That would make sense. But they are yet to win it. They are yet to win this map, as are Rated R. So somebody zero has got to go at this point. Somebody has to win it.
Someone has to come through with a win. One of the things I'm currently putting towards Obey's camp here is the way they played it against EU's Finest last week.
Think we're seeing a mid-drop?
I think we might. I think we might. And I think it will come from Obey if we do.
Okay.
Only because of what we saw last week, to be honest with you. I think the way they played that map was pretty smart. They were just against an extremely tough opposition. And I know Rated R is in this Pro League for a reason. They're very tough as well. But I don't think they're on the same caliber right now. Yeah. Maybe in week 1, yes. But right now, no. And I think that might throw them. I think that might give Obey a little bit of an edge there. Whether or not we'll see it. It really depends on if Obey, want to follow through with what they started last week? And that's a big question. It's a big ask for any team. Obey specifically right now in this matchup where, if things go wrong, when you try and mess things up a little bit, you're down in that bottom place. You're 4 points away from the top, and you've only got 2 games left. It's a big swinging point for them, so be interesting to see how they play it for sure.
Yeah, and we will find out very, very shortly. The map, I can tell you, is already loading back up, so we will jump on that in a second. But I think I'm looking towards Saki here. I need to see a big performance out of him. We didn't really see it last week, albeit it was against the EU's finest, so it's harder to say. But we sort of put him as the catalyst, as the reason of why Obey looked good when they were winning. They looked great. When they're losing, it's just one of those things where they seem maybe a little bit disjointed at times. He wasn't performing so much last week. If he can perform here once again, I think he dropped most kills that we've seen across the Pro League against Rated R on Vazgear. Was it 60 exactly.
On the money, yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot. So if he can do that again, then surely you would think Obey Alliance will be able to take the series. But I don't want to put too much pressure on him. But he's the one that has been performing. When he has performed, Obey have won.
They have, and I'd also want to point out Breaker as well, coming out with that clutch play. Remember the drop shot on Vazgear? That was one of the catalysts for them winning that map as well. And when the pressure is on, Breaker is one of those players that can come out and step up and really take the game to the opposition. So hopefully we see both of those players come out of their shell a little bit in this game, really give it to Rated R, because they're going to need to if they want to win this.
Okay, well, we have had another restart, so we'll continue to discuss these two teams. If you look at Rated R, who for you has stood out the most? I think for me, just because of the way he plays is Sergio.
I was going to say, are you going to go Sergio?
Yeah, I think Dov's had a couple of good players as well, specifically the one that he just squeezed into number 2 in the top 5 players. I couldn't put him number 1 because they lost. I'm sorry, but it would have been had they gone on to win that map. Those 4 kills on the home hill would have immediately went in at number 1. Yeah, a couple of flashy plays here and there, but maybe some inconsistencies from him. Maybe it's just inconsistencies across the board, to be honest. But if I was to pick somebody who's maybe the most effective for me, would be Sergio.
I kind of agree. I think he's had some very standout plays. Yeah. I would look at Dov as that other player right now, personally. I think, he's got a good background to him. He's played a lot of gears in the past. He really is a player that can step it up to the level of, Saki, of Breaker, of EU's finest as well. That top caliber slaying power does come through when his gameplay is on form.
Yeah.
Have we seen it the last 2 weeks? I'm not too sure we have. I don't think we've seen that best Rated R we saw in that week 1. And that's the consistency, I guess, you're asking for is, where is it? Where's it gone?
Yeah.
Because they were consistent throughout qualification.
Yeah. If they come and play how they did against the EU's finest in week number 1, then they're going to be very hard to beat. We are, once again, loading into the map. Right, whose name do I get wrong on
Leonard's.
Leonard. What was it called? Leonard. Like leotard, but Leonard.
Exactly that. Leo.
Leonard. Leonard.
It's not Leonard.
Leonard? Oh, for God's sake.
It is Leonard.
Right.
It's not Leonard.
Are you winding me up now?
No, I promise you. Chat will confirm.
Right, chat. I'm sorry. Whatever I call him, just deal with it. You know who I'm talking about.
Leonard.
Let's not get it twisted, right? That fella who's... Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah?
You see, in my eyes, that's... I'm not going to argue with you, Afro. I'm not going to argue with you, but I think I'm right. And chat, you know what? I think I'm right too. We're gonna go with whatever comes out of my mouth. To be honest with you, that's generally. I usually just wing it with this whole casting business. It's usually just speak nonsense, and sometimes it makes sense. But here we go into the game. Eventually, 3rd time's the charm. Rated R against Obey Alliance, week number 4 of the EU Pro League. Interested to see which way this one goes here, Fro. It's one of those that could go either way, and I think we are expecting a very, very good game, but it is going to be Sergio to get this initial aggression over towards B, and it's a very, very even map right now, but it is going to be Rated R for the first push over towards B. They've got the push from mid, from Dove. Warrior Gun should now be in a world of trouble as well, but has been the overextension by Obey Alliance over towards the home hill of A. Dragons will do well to stay alive. They have got control of B, but now they need to push away Obey from this home hill. This could be a domination very, very quickly, if not an elimination. Everybody goes down. They are now making the push over towards C.
They are indeed. C just held off by Demonic at the moment on his own. He's going to get pushed eventually, but he might have just lasted long enough to see his team pop up. I like what Rated R did there. They went for the member off spawn first before they went into the home hill. Just meant that there was no one in their back to shoot them in the back, and well, that's why they locked in that round very, very quickly. Did like what we saw from Obey in that very quick rotation around to try and take the home hill push. Yep. Rated R, though, countered it perfectly, got back there in time and defended that hill as you would have wished, to be honest with you.
the numbers
Good play.
invested wisely, if you like, from Rated R. They sent more over towards B, but then defended their home hill very, very well as well. So they will pick up round number 1. And it's around that, you know, of course, with the spawn time has been so long, it can be over very, very quickly. So don't read into it too much if you are a new watcher of Escalation on Gears of War. It's one of those things that can happen super quickly in round number 1. Now, are we going to do it in round number 1, Obey Alliance? I don't think we are.
I don't think you'll see it just yet. I think what they need to do first...
Get some grenades to help them get a hold of it.
They need to get the grenades down, but they also need to determine what Rated R are going to be building towards. Because if they're building towards that drop shot, then you can, you know, place that elsewhere and break them off their track. And that's one of the things they've got to establish is that opening path for Rated R. Looks like it may be the drop shots opposite one another, but we'll see as rounds go on.
Well, the kill's actually coming in the favour of OB Alliance once again. They are going to get initial B control. Warrior Guns is going to chase down Sergio though, so they will be able to find a kill with that as well. Similar start this time round, but in this instance it is Obey Alliance on top. TJ and Co trying to get things done. Dragons is going to find one and a second as well, so that's big defensive plays out of him, who will find 2 in mid-map. Now he will stave off the push of Obey Alliance. We'll be able to push forward here. Demonic in a big gunfire. Oh, he's managed to get the mantle onto him. See you later, Demonic. And he pushes forward and helps his team get a hold of this point. Here comes the train as well. Good timing if you are for Rated R. Dragons Code trying to push Breaker out. The flash comes through. But it's a really big play by Dragons. He is the one that smashes the door open for Rated R.
It was indeed, but I think they might have smashed it too far. You see, they're both down now. Warrior Guns, just a little bit of Lancer fire to help his teammates out there. TJ survives. Breaker gets a kill as well. And now it's pretty much all Obey on the tracks. They had that opportunity when the train came in to push wide and really, you know, just put a numbers advantage into work there. They had the 2v1 for a good 10 seconds or so, but they just couldn't make it count. Now, on the other hand, Obey, they've countered, they've got control of this mid, and they're starting to gain a little bit of a point lead here.
Oh, the Lancer fire coming in from the spawn, though, Rated R. Putting the pressure on. Obey having to back on down now. Here comes the train. That's going to find somebody on Rated R. we're going to try and avoid his name in all possible instances. So Breaker now trying to get aggressive, as does TJ. And kills going backwards and forwards, but they do seem to just about be leaning towards Rated R. Here comes Dov from behind TJ. Caught with his pants down. See you later, Saki, as well. So 1-win condition is already up. Well, that will change very, very shortly when they do get a hold of B. Now it is going to be the COG team for Rated R to win it if they do keep a hold of these 2 hills. Looks like Warrior Guns may have actually lagged that there, but we'll keep an eye on that.
That looked like a battery dying to me. Is that what that looked like?
Furious.
Yeah, you got to plug your controller and all. Make sure you're charged. We'll see what happens in this the following fight. Obey look like they're going to be defending that home hill for just a second. Sergio up there with the Lancer, just forcing Obey backwards. Saki having none of it though. He's going to push out with the flashbang. Does manage to get a first little connection there. Steam Trains all the way across. Gets that 1 bomb. You see that actually Warrior Guns did lag out, so that's not going to be great for Obey, as you know, they're going to be fighting this 4v5 for the rest of this round at least. And they should wait a second or two just to get him back in. Hopefully it's not a sign of worse things to come, but honestly, Saki still doing his best here, still trying to fight out. They are doing okay to say they are, a person down right now. Good meat shield there, but it looks like Rated R, they're going to be able to get the kill, and Breaker doing his best here just to survive.
Yeah, I said it is 4v5, but I tell you what, Breaker has actually made a good work of this one. Is he going to find another? Not quite. Sergio will take him down, and Rated R will get control of the points. I don't know if C will be enough for Obey Alliance to walk away. Sorry, A will be enough for Obey Alliance to walk away with a win here. It does not seem that way. If anything, they just want to long it out, maybe try and get Warrior Guns back in instead of forcing the restart. Looks like the push went over towards B. It's actually worked out for Obey Alliance. Now it's going to come down to TJ. Trying to keep a hold of this A point. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Sergio finds 1. They are going to get a hold of A. It's not going to be quite enough. Rated R will go 2-0 up now. We will be finding out what's going to go on, whether we will be ending the game and waiting on Warrior Guns, or if he's managing to join back in time. It's not looking that way, it has to be said. So we'll wait on the weapon placements coming through, and I think they're probably just trying to wait as long as possible to see if we can get them back into the game.
Yep, that should be what happens.
We will get that double confirmed just to let you guys know what's going on, but Rated R now. Where they're going to go with this placement, you'd imagine it'll be... You can see they're taking their time with it just to give time for the player to come back in, but the shot grenade has been now placed. If you are Obey, you're thinking about it. Don't know if he's hovering. Maybe he's trying to invite his teammate back into the game.
It could be. I mean, he did move it up to that entrance weapon placement slot there, so, you know, they may be baiting us. They may just be drawing the timeout. They are indeed going to put that drop shot down in the middle, as we discussed it a little bit before the game started. Something a little bit different here from Obey, and we like to see it over in Europe. It's a new little style. Drop shots down in the mid, stop those double placements fighting off against each other, and in the end, the shot grenade fighting for it. It's not a bad thing.
Well, both teams waiting at the spawn, apparently. Not 100% sure what's going on, I'll be honest with you. whether we're waiting on this one starting. But of course the time doesn't tick down. There's no sort of time limit. It is up to the score to a point. And we will find out what's going to happen. So happen when these players get back into the game. Looking towards the slaying department though. Fairly even across the board to a point.
Yeah. I mean, 7 kills. Sergio here leading the way for his team. But honestly, it's almost even right at this point. A few rounds in, they are looking good, Rated R. To be honest with you, on the slaying part of things, they have been taking their fights, and I think in the end we've seen a lot of last stands there from Obey to really get those points on the board. But it's not being that initial kill; it's always been on the defensive.
Yeah. It felt like, you know, even though they did go 4v5 for the remainder of the round, it felt like Rated R were the ones momentarily in control, at least anyway. They did have a hold of A and B when he did leave, so hopefully he'll be coming back into this one and we don't have to restart while we're waiting. But both teams just waiting to spawn, playing the game here anyway, at least, so we don't have to restart the lobby, so that's why we're still in the game. I presume, anyway. They're presuming that he's actually going to join back up in a second.
Yeah. Both teams are happy with it. I mean, what they usually do is that they will, you know, they'll get their play back in, they'll stand in the rough spawns they can, and then they'll agree a start time on, you know, on the messenger basically, or, you know, via any communication means, say, okay, let's start again at 2 minutes 30, and then once that timer goes down, both teams will play on from that point. And it's not the cleanest way of doing things, but both teams, both teams, if they accept that, they're happy with it. It saves them having to go back and restart every single round again.
Yes, and nobody wants to see that. We do have that that instance on LAN where you can sort of reset the game, or at least pause the game to a point. We don't online, unfortunately, so we have to reset, go back to the weapon placements, etc. And nobody on each team wants that, but I've been told that we're going to rejoin in the game right now. They're going as if by magic.
Perfect timing.
As if by magic. So these two now will wait until a certain time to then go back into it. I'd hope it's 2 minutes 30 so we can get this one back underway, but Rated R 2-0 up now. I'm going to be kicking things off.
Demonic just taking a step forward.
In a second. Go on.
It might be 2:45.
Okay, we'll allow them that. Is everyone in the spawn positions now, boys? Everybody getting formation?
Nope.
No Beyonce jokes in the chat. There we go. There we go. We're back into it. Look at that. Look at the sportsmanship across the board there. Gears of War players. Different breed, mate. Different breed. Anyway, as said, the drop shot was put down, so that's why you're seeing everybody in the granny over next to it, the bridge side. Toaster's going to be trying to get something done with this shock, and he is actually going to sparse out the members of Obey Alliance who now have been pushed away. Dragons are going to get a hold of it. The kill's coming through for Rated R, and it couldn't have gone better for them there, Fruit.
Yeah, they played the shot grenade really well. They timed it to go in at the exact same time as a flash grenade, which meant that as soon as that push came in from Rated R, great plays by Demonic just to hold out right here. Just while completely ignoring my point, Demonic putting on a little bit of a show. Nice little back A there. Got a bit of backup now. Dov's going to fall down. And going back to where I was before, nice little placement. Timed it with that flashbang. Obey, they had some people back, they had some people forward. The people forward were completely flashed out. It was an
It just cuts it off as well, doesn't it? Like, there's not really much you can do. If you get it in that good position on the stairs, they can't even peek it. No. Because it's blocking off the areas where you can even like just get some Lancer fire down to try and slow it down. So, really good play initially by Rated R, but they have lost B for their troubles. They do still have that drop shot available. I don't believe I've heard it be popped up from Dragons.
See what he's doing with it.
Although this wouldn't be a bad spot to use it, so it surprises me that he's got the pistol out if he hasn't used the ammo. Either way, Demonic's going to find 2 in the mid, so that's going to shut down any sort of push from Dragons. Shots going through just to force them away, but Rated R, happy to back on up here. They have to be careful not to be dominated here, actually. Dragon's going to make the push forward. He's got TJ in front of him. He's going to be forced off. The domination could come through for Obey Alliance. It will come through for Obey Alliance here. And that just seems like... I mean, unless he did use it, we just didn't see it, but I personally didn't hear or see it.
I didn't hear it, but...
I mean, it could have happened.
It might have been a quick usage as, you know, as they rotated around to that B hill, which kind of would make sense if they're trying to cut off a route or something like that. Obviously didn't connect, and that really is the one round that Rated R get for free, because at this point you're going to see Obey upgrade to that shot grenade. Rated R on the other hand, they're going to half the time on it, but on that opening fight you are going to have the the timer basically at 120 anyway for the drop shot, which means Obey's shot grenade lines up perfectly with it every time. Doesn't really matter if you double down on that timer.
Yep.
It's actually better, I think, to go elsewhere.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought would have probably made a bit more sense. I'm querying what Rated R's plan was there. I would have liked to see them maybe start something over towards the left-hand side of their home hill, but either way, they are once again going to get a hold of that drop shot.
Sergio has got it out. Let's jump on board with him, see what he's going to do.
He's down. He's trying to get them down once again. There goes the drop out, and he is just going to find his teammate. He would have found Saki had Dove not taken him down, and now he's going to get pushed as well. Oh
you
my
can't let that happen,
word,
Warrior Guns.
You got him so weak, and he's missed the shot. Sergio puts him to sleep. It's a nice kill by Sergio in the end, but if you're Warrior Guns, you will be disappointed. Here comes the drop again. See you later, TJ. Saki's in danger as well. He's going to get pushed. Hasn't quite landed the shot from Sergio, but it might not matter. The domination may come through in a second. It should come through in a second, unless Warrior Guns can break in time. Not quite. And honestly, that comes down to Warrior Guns. I think if he can make that kill on the drop shot player, it completely swings that round in a different direction.
I mean, there's no could have made that kill. He should have made that kill. He had him completely red, and he did not respect the distance that was between him and his opponent. And you have to do that at this level, because if there is that time to get that one shot off, they will find it. And you saw he managed to strafe a shot, switch to the Nasher, get that insta-gib, and well, see you later, Warrior Guns. You made a mistake there, and well, your team paid for it with another round gone. That could have been a round in Obey's favor. They were looking pretty good. They had the double down. They potentially had the kill on the power weapon as well. Just one little mistake there, and that's it, right? That's all she wrote for that round.
If you like to know, we have a nice little new graphic over the top.
Features.
Look at that. Honestly, we're doing it all here in Europe. Shout out to Matt on the production. Just it's every week. He's just like, I've got you this and I've got you that, and that's a drop shot going to be sent through from Sergio, who manages to find TJ, but does kill himself at the same time. So not necessarily the best, but he has maybe stopped Obey Alliance getting a hold of it anyway, and now Dove is going to make the push, and this is over towards C. They have control of B as well. I'll tell you what, though.
Big kills by Dove.
Yeah, really big kill by Dove. Demonic, I thought he might catch him out there. But Dove getting aggressive over towards C will now back it up and help his team get a hold of it. And for all that aggression that Rated R found up top here, they don't really have a point. So right now, Obey Alliance will be more than happy. They do have a drop shot. I believe it should just have one shot on it though, so not complete disaster for Obey Alliance, who do have C and B, of course. No points on the board quite yet for Rated R, but they do have their home hill now and have that drop shot.
Yeah, a little bit of a rush play again from Warrior Guns there, actually. I don't want to keep calling him out, but honestly, he should have waited. He should have been there with his team getting that drop shot out, because they could have defended him, given 3 or 4 seconds just to determine a plan and go for it. Little bit rush, little bit brash, and there you go. You get taken out pretty easy. Nice kill by Dove.
B is going to be decapped momentarily. Dove just trying to stay alive. There goes the drop from Sergio this time round, though. Saki will be dropped, but I tell you what, it's the only answer they've actually managed to have, is the rest of the kills coming through for a bit. This kill needs to come through. He will go down. TJ finding another one, but Dove is able to answer back. Back and forth we go. I'm not even sure who's in control at this point, Drew.
I mean, it should have been Rated R, but they just didn't respect the rotation route that TJ had there, and they knew he just got a kill over by their home. Someone should have been watching that middle route. Someone should have been keeping an eye on it and making sure that that B hill was all theirs, was secure, because they made a big push over to that C. They have got it decapped, you're right? You can see the fight in the background going on as Toast managed to pick up TJ there.
It's a big kill. It's a really big kill, because if everybody else doesn't win those ones at the home hills, they're in danger of being dominated. But anyway, back to your point.
No, I was going to say, out of all that, I would have expected Rated R to perhaps had a little bit more of an advantage there, given that they had the neutral hill. Seems not, though, Obey. They played it well.
Dragons getting aggressive. Lancerfire coming through. He will be punished for his aggression by Saki. But ultimately, it is Rated R now in control. Have to be careful not to be dominated. They will not yet Obey. They will get a hold of B and a couple of kills as well, so they should be able to rotate back over towards C. There's been a bit of a long fight going on here. Sergio seems to be alive for quite some time. He is going to get wiped out pretty quickly, though, and they will now lose C. They don't have control of B. They are not in the lead. Rated R look like they could bleed this round away. Obey Alliance looking to get themselves closer here. Drop shot coming through from Warrior Guns, not landing, not having the best game here for him.
No, I don't believe he is. You know, it's a few rounds in, right? Maybe he's warming up still, but from what I've seen, I think you're right. That is not the best of Warrior Guns we've seen so far. Just little technical mistakes here and there. Misses a shot, just doesn't respect distance. These things could be ironed out very quickly by a player at this level, so I wouldn't expect to see this carry on at all. But you have to keep note of it, right? You have to make sure that we're taking account of exactly what is causing these rounds to go.
Well, OB Alliance now in the win condition of hold one hill and win it. I'll tell you what, Warrior Guns, though, we said that he's not been having the best time of things, but he has managed to pick up 2. The rest of his team there doing the damage. Also, TJ and Breaker combining well. That will be an OB Alliance win. The elimination does indeed come through. 3-2 now. Much better in the end there. You know, if Warrior Guns doesn't make those 2 kills, then maybe it's a little bit of a different end to the round. So it's not the amount of kills. It's the important ones that you do make that do count.
And those 2, they were important. Yep. They were getting pushed hard on that home hill, so great play there to close things off. Obey, now they have an opportunity just to carry on as they were. Rated R, they made that mistake in the weapon placements, in my opinion at least. But
I mean, ultimately for me as well, though, OB Alliance made the same mistake.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And we are going to see, you know, weapons get placed down at the bottom now. I think that was incendiary on one side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
that was
right.
OB's chance to maybe take that. Yeah. I think maybe a little bit of an oversight in terms of the shot grenade going in, but maybe, you know, they do prefer to have those shot grenades available more often.
But I question what is the benefit. The benefit is that you get the shot grenade more often, obviously.
Yeah, but you know, the ultimate reason for having the shock is to help you get a hold of the drop shot in the beginning, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, so you have it in that 1v1 fight for home hills as well, but if you throw that down, you're delaying your own route because you block off the entire bridge. Yeah. So it's one of those things where you got to look at what the advantage is, and I think the advantage would be that weapon placement down bottom personally, but let's see how the teams progress. They both made their decisions now.
I mean, Warrior Guns has just went head first into 3 members of Rated R, got a kill and survived. So fair play. Oh well, that didn't last very long. Sergio does actually make the kill with the drop shot. Breaker, he's died a couple of times to that train. Let's be honest. Check your times, mate. Not quite finding the right time to cross the tracks, but the kill's coming through for Rated R now. Demonic does answer back with the kill on the Dragons, though. Big fight up top here. It is going to go over towards OB momentarily. There comes that shot grenade once again. Toast is going to manage to get the kill and get out. But for all this, they don't have a hold of B here. Rated R do want to try and get a hold of C, but they don't want to really give up this high ground up top bridge as well. TJ with a good shot. The Toast gets far too aggressive. Sergio will get him up. Sergio will go down. Toast will get Sergio up. It's all over the shop here this fight. Nobody able to cleanly get out. Just everybody's getting up and everybody's getting dropped. Who is winning this fight? I have no clue.
Rated R just about winning this fight.
Now they're winning it. Just about anyway.
I thought you did the okey-dokey.
Yeah, I know. Everyone was up and down, up and down.
Check it all about.
Well, Saki and Co do eventually go down, and for all that they got aggressive, that may be an elimination victory. It seems that way. Not quite going to happen this time around. They didn't get a hold of C, so if you are up here, you are going to respawn back in and try and get a hold of your home hill. But the win condition will be with Rated R very, very shortly. They are going to lose B as well, but OB Alliance still with a hold on this round. That was a stupid fight.
It was. I mean, it was a good fight, good one to watch, but mad indeed. Toast has got those incendiaries, so let's see what he can do with these. Just keeping an eye on him as he's backing out. Another train coming through the station. He's got to be careful not to get run over, as you said.
Watch out,
We've had a few players been run over already, and it was like mostly from the Obey side.
Well, Toast getting aggressive now. The rest of his team getting aggressive up top bridge, getting a hold of control of that while they can. And Toast maybe just playing a distraction here. Incen not finding anything. Does get a shot into Demonic. Is looking for the decap at B. But Demonic just playing these life here well. He doesn't need to really engage. He just needs to keep him off it. Here comes the drop shot. He dodges that as well. And for all that, Demonic hasn't really found a kill here. He's done everything else. He's stayed alive as long as possible. He's kept them off beat. Sarki's then come through and put Lancer Fire down and found 2 kills. Nicely done, and they will keep B. The train will prolong that as well. But the win condition now with Swarm and the lead with Swarm and with OB Alliance.
Yeah, and to say Obey, you know, they were almost trip capped out there. Just a nice little play by Demonic to keep them in it. They've done well in this round so far, and there is potential, you're right, for them to come out and win this. They are 6 points ahead. A good shot grenade to cut things off there.
Yeah, Toast is going to drop Breaker, so
Demonic.
He's all alone, but Saki getting aggressive to try and push out Bridge. But they have lost B now, and it's a close game, so they need to get a hold of it as soon as they can. Good gunfight by Demonic. Will find Dove. Stalemate, yeah, nice kill by Sergio. Saki did push on through. Can he find the second as well? It just needs to be a shot in from Demonic. Lovely stuff from Sergio. Fully red, and just Demonic cannot get a hold of him at all. Cannot lock him down. Nice 2 kills come through, but now they've lost B. Backwards and forwards we go. Rated R should still be able to win. Not quite. It's going to be very, very close. Sergio extending over towards A. A decap will do. Trying to stay alive. The shots come through. Demonic has taken a lot of damage here as well, and Sergio will find another across the map. It doesn't seem to matter where he is. He wins the gunfights, but it's not going to be enough. They still need to get a decap or a cap here somewhere. The rest of his team just not getting the job done. And I'll tell you why that is, because everybody else is already dead without any respawns. And I didn't even notice. I was too fixated on Sergio just flying about the gaff.
Yeah, he was indeed. Got some nice kills there. I really like that. And that's the the quality that you were saying beforehand, right? Yeah. He can pop off and he can get some nice little double, triple kills here and there. We are seeing it. Let's take stock of what's just gone down. So we see the grenades. Senders on the bottom side. Drop shot still in that middle. Both shocks down to 60 seconds now, and well, things still pretty even, I'd say, around the board. I don't think there's anything majorly crazy going on in terms of weapon placements. It's all about this drop shot fight for both teams.
Well, the hills now have moved, of course, and the respawns have been reset. No surprise to see Rated R with none of those left, to be fair, as they do like to get aggressive. Sergio is now going to get a hold of the drop. He is going to survive as well. Going to get pushed. Already has his shotgun out, but TJ will find the kill. Demonic finds one at the Toast as well, so this is a big gunfight. Rated R trying to get something done here. Dove is going to be able to answer back and will manage to just have that. Is the drop shot still on play, or did it go?
He got killed out, I think.
Nah, he got killed in hand as well.
It was backpacked, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate. So Dolph not able to quite pick that one up, but they will get a hold of it for their troubles. They are going to lose D while they're on, though, but the kills momentarily are going in their favour, so Rated R not too concerned about this so far. Sergio getting things done here is going to find at least one. Dove trying to get aggressive too, but Demonic is able to answer back, and they will get a hold of E. I feel as if they probably will lose a home hill here, although will they even get a hold of E here? Has to get aggressive on the Toast, who does get taken down by his teammate. Rated R here in numbers once again.
Yeah, I think he would have got taken out nonetheless. Good play here by Demonic, just looking for his 3rd kill of the round already. Breaker comes in and steals the party, but honestly, great play by Demonic to get a couple of kills there and keep his team up in this fight. I think what I'm... There's a shot grenade coming through. I think what we're seeing a little bit in here is, a few premature shot grenades, because they're coming through extremely early in the round. And the one team that does hold onto that shot grenade and can defend without the need, with the need for it, will have such an advantage trying to get that drop shot out if they can time it properly. Swarm, though, coming in. Great domination victory. 4-3 up now. They've turned the tables a little bit here.
Yep, 3 rounds in a row here for Obey Alliance. It was a really good start by Rated R, but as the game is continued, Obey Alliance are very much coming back into this one and will take the lead for the first time. See where the placements go here, and imagine they're just going to keep upgrading here and probably trying to match a round away, of course, as they did place down that drop shot. It has to be said, they placed the drop shot, but I feel as if Rated R are the ones that have had it more often, and Rated R now also have a boom shot to help them get a hold of it once again.
That they do. I think, to your point, I think it is that missed weapon placement opportunity. They had that window and they haven't really made anything for it. They've just kept on fighting. So both teams, they did have that opportunity. Dragons does have a boom shot in hand though, so there is that to worry about.
Well, for one of the first times, Obey get a hold of the drop shot, but do not make the best use of it, let's say, at that. Saki does go down to his teammate. Warrior Guns, though, hiding away, running through the shot grenade. Hilariously, as Toast says, thank you very much. That's the easiest kill I've had all day. And they will get a hold of E here as the rest of Rated R will now push forward. Dragon's trying to put some shots in, trying to get some control of this right-hand side. Demonic will go down, and you have to be careful. If you have Breaker, he's going to drop as well. The only one to answer back is Saki, and it's with Lancerfire not in a position to finish this one. He will hold them off momentarily, although saying that, Rated R not in a bad spot to get something done here. The domination could potentially come through. Not quite, but they are limiting Obey to very little points here. Domination may come through if the aggression doesn't come out of Obey Alliance shortly. It does eventually. Which way is this gunfight going to go? Dove and Toast combining well. Demonic and Warrior Guns are going to go down. Are they able to answer back, though? Just about. The elimination not going to quite come through as Somebody at least does respawn up on the rated R side of things, but that was stupid.
It was stupid, but what was even stupider was me saying that. Was Leonard getting run over by the train as he was trying to support that fight?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those that he's fortunate that he's come back up in time to stop the execution when they come through.
But also unfortunate that he wasn't there to help his team secure that hill, right?
Oh, big grenades coming out. That's a shock coming through. Demonic and Saki getting plenty of downs here, and they should be able to clean at least one of them up. They do so. Dragons is going to answer back with a kill. Up against Warrior Guns as well, though. That's over towards the D side, so that's a big one. Even if he decaps and gets out, that would be nice. He will go for the cap, but Saki rotating one round to try and find him. Dragons now in the middle of no man's land. He should drop very, very shortly. If anything, I tell you what, he's done very, very well to stay alive. He is going to get dropped eventually, but the damage is already done. They have a hold of D. If albeit momentarily, but they have control of ENF due to the control they could get because of all the pressure being put on the home hill, and they continue that pressure. The finger is on the button. The domination should come through. Nicely done by Rated R. And level things up 4-4 now. That was a nice round out of them. They're getting very, very aggressive and stretching Obey there. Yeah,
stretching and pulling players back out of those neutral fights as well. And also at the end, they were constantly backing up their teammates in the fight, in the offensive fight. So really good to see from Rated R, tying it back up once again. No team going too far out the way, and now see what they're going to do. Boomshot getting that timer half down. I would like to see from Obey now. Well, I wouldn't have liked to see that. I would have liked to have seen them block out that Boomshot for 3 rounds, is what I would have preferred there. Because you've got 3 rounds on the clock without a Boomshot. If you win all 3 of those with that advantage,
yeah,
then I think that's your best shot right now. But honestly, you know, the return would come in. They'd have to either block out the shock or the incendiary, and it might be the shock grenade block that they're going to go for after this round. We'll see.
Could be, but Sergio once again will get aggressive towards the drop shot. I tell you what, there's a lot of people from Obey Alliance that Saki is going to find Sergio, and Sergio is going to find Saki. So both weapons traded, so to speak. Kills coming through. Warrior Guns is going to find Toast, and it's absolute carnage up top here on the bridge. Dragons now. I don't really know what he's trying to. Is it the weapon?
Yeah.
I respect it. I respect it. He does get a hold of it in the end, and they will get a hold of E for Rated R's trouble. So Obey Alliance lose that initial gunfight. They lose the drop shot as well. So not the best spot to be in. As we can see at the top of your screen, they did win 3 rounds in a row, but Rated R eventually able to answer back. Can they find another one here? They are in the advantageous position as the game slows down for maybe the first time. It's been very, very aggressive from both teams here, which we do love to see, of course.
Let's have a look at those timers, what we got coming up. So the shot grenades are coming back up. We've got the drop shot back up in 60 or so seconds as well. So
well, the boom shot for Rated R is coming up very, very shortly too.
Yep. And that might be this the catalyst, because you see on the other side there's that 75-second window where Obey are not going to have a boom shot.
4 members of Obey up towards Z. Dragon sends 1 drop shot through and will find the kill. TJ and Breaker though doing good work. Eventually Toast is going to be cleaned up. Sergio hasn't quite been yet and will get out of dodge. Now Dragons pushed up, just trying to be aggressive. They will force Demonic away. They will get E back.
It's nicely played.
And the win condition in their favor now. 50 seconds to go. They're finding the kills too. It might be a push towards the home hill. It's looking that way. Saki's the only one to answer back. You have to be careful not to be a little bit overzealous here if you're Rated R. They are going to back on down. They will survive the onslaught of Lancer Fire, but only just.
Only just indeed. There was a couple of opportunities there for Obey to get even more kills on the board, so Rated R, they do have to be careful. They've also got to realise is that although this push is going on, that boom shot, that's going to be up soon as well. So if Rated R can get hold of that on their home hill, even if or even the drop shot up top, could be pretty difficult. Bad shot grenade there. Better drop shot though as that kill comes in. And Cog looking strong here. 1v1 for this E hill going to commence, and Saki just respect the drop shot. Is maybe going to get the break. I'm not sure if anyone is over at D hill to really stop things though.
No, it's not looking that way. It looks like this will be a Rated R win. Gunfight doesn't quite go their way, sorry, at E, and Rated R will now find themselves 2 rounds away. We said for Obey Alliance here, we need to see them win Asylum. Backs against the wall a little bit, not quite do or die yet, but we're getting there. We are getting there. Let's see then. What are we expecting here?
Well, Sergio has got that first placement, right? So utility might come out here, and then I think if the utility does come out, Obey then block the shot grenade. But we'll see. Looks like they're going to just drop the timer down again. I'm not sure that's the right play, to be honest with you.
I feel like these are very easy choices rather than like maybe the
they're not thinking
the outplay. They're just going for
term.
they're just going for okay, what's going to benefit us here. I think for me, you were right. I think they block the shock. It makes things so much easier to get hold of the drop up top. And here we go. We're into the fight over towards E as well. Sergio once again gets inside, gets a hold of that drop shot.
The shot grenade's just on the corner. Saki using that one boom shot that they've got. So it's a good effect, taking out the drop shot, but they've got to respect the boom shot on the other side as well. Let's have a look where that is. It looks like it has been used, so fight going to commence just with the shotguns this time around. Let's see how things pan out. Dragons pushing up, getting a little bit of purchase on this cover here. We do see Saki manage to get that kill on Dov, which is big. Ooh, another kill coming in by Saki as well, but Toast and Sergio, they're going to reply. It looks like Rated R just going to clean house here. A couple more kills coming in for them. Drop shot may be the reward. It is the reward. The heal as well is going to be theirs.
Breaker once again.
Breaker getting run over by that train. Not ideal at this point. And TJ, he's going to have to fight the world at this fight. He's actually been flashed by his own teammate. Toast, yes, just give it a boot straight over to him, kicks it back into him.
Push comes through from Rated R. Are they able to find enough? Not quite. Maybe a little bit overzealous in that push, and Dragons will now back on down. He doesn't want to let the elimination come through. So Dragon's surviving, and he will probably have to back on up. And imagine he's somewhere
boom shot up in 4 seconds as well.
Oh, this is massive.
It might be huge. Saki can get hold of this boom shot. Even if he backpacks it, it doesn't matter. He hasn't backpacked it. He should have just shot the floor. Shot the floor, use the bullet. Simple as that. Or put it on your back. Don't run off with it like that. The first thing you need to do is secure it. If it's on your hands, if it's in your hands, it's not secure. And, well, they've now got a boom shot where realistically Rated R shouldn't have.
They have that boom shot, and they have a route back into this round. It is a good shot grenade. It will stop the push momentarily. It's a really bad boom shot. Warrior Guns.
There's someone on the flank as well. Let's see what's going on around here. Saki, he's having a fight with Dragons
to win
tonight.
this.
Does come out. Warrior was there to support as well, but it does mean up top control has gone over to Cog. They will win in about 60 seconds right now. Let's have a look at the map. 10 seconds till boom shot, drop shot comes up.
It is Rated R with the control. Saki and Kodo. The Lance of Fire comes through. They are going to back them on down. Sergio drops Saki. Now in position to try and get a hold of it, but not expecting the push to come through. Warrior Guns is able to answer back. Dov manages to get the drop shot, but will be dropped himself. Can he be cleaned up as Toast did answer back with a kill of his own? Dov now. Shot going to come through. Lands nothing, but thankfully for him, the rest of his team clean up house up top 8. Rated R looking like they may go 6-4 up here. The win condition is in their favor. 25 seconds, the elimination may come through actually. If they're not careful, it will come through. Rated R now 6-4 up here in map number 1. 3 rounds in a row. Obey Alliance got that last time round, and since then it's been all Rated R. They are 1 round away. But if Obey Alliance can answer back with 3 of their own, once again, they'll win the map.
That's it, isn't it?
Simple maths.
Yeah, you see it at the top there, 3 in a row, and if the pattern continues, perhaps we do see it. But honestly, right now, Rated R looking like they're playing these fights a little bit better. They're cleaner on their power weapon usage. Strategy-wise, nothing's changed apart from those boom shots just getting both blocked out. So that's basically nullified each other. Doesn't make much difference apart from that up top fight is even more of a focus now for these teams.
Well, here we go. Maybe to EU only once more. We've seen Obey Alliance get unfortunate in the final round here.
So
last week,
TJ.
Sergio does get TJ as well. Should be able to pick the drop shot up too. And imagine that's coming to play as well very, very shortly. But Toast and Co get a... I mean, I don't know how that's happened, but okay. Oh, there must have been the shot grenade still lingering. Yeah. Okay, I didn't see it. I just seen it just disappear towards the end. But it is going to be the initial control over towards E, over towards Rated R.
See what's happening over on the track side. Doesn't seem like much here. Leonard just holding the middle ground. That's all he's doing, is just ensuring that his team have control over the entire middle of the map. Got to watch out for the train now as it's going to come through the station. And the reason that I think some people are getting run over here is that there is nothing really to play for on this side of the map, right? So as soon as that train comes in, as soon as it cuts off players from the fight, gets cut off pretty quickly. Dragons picking up 2 in the middle as well.
Yeah, good play by Dragons. And it's going to force Obey Alliance to have to back on down. They're just trying to survive here. Everybody from Rated R getting very aggressive, and this is more like it from Rated R. This is more like the Rated R we seen in week number 1. The aggression coming out from them, but Warrior Guns has done fantastically to stay alive. Have to be careful not to be dominated here, but TJ should be able to stop that. Momentarily, though, that was a couple of men down. if you are rated R, looking towards the respawn, Sergio still has one available, as does Toast.
TJ's got to watch out behind him.
He does have to watch out behind him, but Breaker, no spawns remaining. Neither does Warrior Guns. They need to get a decent enough push coming in here. It is going to be the domination potentially coming through from Obey. TJ does really well to stay alive, as long as he did. Does eventually go down. Win conditions should be with Obey Alliance when this comes back up once again, but Obey hang on by the skin of their teeth there.
Yeah, that really was a close fight. TJ did exceptionally well to get himself out. Looking at those deaths, though, we see Breaker, 0 deaths remaining. Warrior Guns, 0 deaths remaining. On the other side, Toast, he's down on 1, as is Sergio. So these players, they're going to start to get cancelled out. If they die once more, they cannot come back into this round. And on a map point like this, it's a difficult game, right? Selkie, he's going to return. That puts Sergio, he's going to be down as well. They're all dropping to 0 at this point. They're all going to be fighting on that execution style fight that we love to see when it's high stakes, high reward.
Breaker momentarily is still alive, though. He was the one that we were worrying. Warrior Guns is gone. So if you're Obey Alliance, if you want to stay in this game, you have to do a 3v5. This is looking like a rated R Asylum win. And will they just hold back and say, Obey, you gotta go? Oh, they're running into fire, though. Dragons finds 1, Dragons finds 2. It'd be rude not to give him the 3rd, right? Yes, it would. He finds it. Fantastic play out of Dragons. He seals it. The nail in the coffin. Rated R 7-4 now as Dragons picks up 3 towards the end. It was a bad spot for Obey. A good map out of Rated R. And that's the one we said we feel as if Obey Alliance have to win. They couldn't get it done. Rated R. Do it in 11.
Do it in 11 they did. Sergio there, MVP, your man, you called him out.
Yeah, you see, I've gassed him up. 45 eliminations coming out of him with 21 deaths. He's done well for himself. Yep, good stats.
Good result, right? I mean, I think you were right. We did see a little bit of that week 1 Rated R coming out there, chasing down kills, really pushing their opponent to the limit and just slaying out as well. They were managing to find those brilliant single kills, those double kills, and in the end, they did make least mistakes out of the least mistakes out of the 2 teams as well.
Yeah, there was. I feel as if I want to give credit to Rated R that they played that very, very well, but I would also say that there's a couple of mistakes out of Obey. I think Breaker was killed by, and ultimately, I don't want to harp on about Breaker too much, but it comes down to his eliminate. I mean, look, they were in a bad spot in that final round anyway.
Yep.
But those respawns, how many would he have had left if he hadn't been ran over by the train a couple of times?
That's true.
I can't remember which halves they were in, but they still play a factor to a point.
Yes.
Those sort of situations where you would have been in a better spot. Your team wouldn't have had to force that big fight towards the end had you still. I don't want to pin it all on him whatsoever, but just little mistakes here and there in that series definitely not helping Obey out.
For me, the most major mistake was the weapon placements from Obey. They had the opportunity to get back in the game, to really utilize that mid drop and not be at a disadvantage because of it. And they didn't spot that they had that chance. They didn't take that opportunity to go on the low side with the weapon placements. They went, all out on the top side to try and match Rated R, and in the end, that was actually not the best play for them. That's for me the major mistake there. Yep. They can get run over by the train, right, as a mistake.
Yep.
Okay, once, twice, you get run over. In the heat of the moment, you might not realize it's coming through.
Yeah.
But huge macro style plays like that, meta play, that's where, as a team, fundamentally, that's where the better teams are made. Yeah. And that's kind of worrying for me.
It's simple as well, though, isn't it?
It is simple.
It's one of those things where they maybe look back and, to be honest, I mean, if the guys are listening back and sort of saying, well, what are these two talking about? I think from our perspective, we would have definitely liked to see some other use. I think it was because the initial mistake came through from Rated R when they halved that.
Yes.
When they halved the shot grenade, of course, over towards their side of things. Mm-hmm. That was their opportunity to then extend over towards that. But they matched the halving of the shot grenade. Obviously, putting a lot of stock in the shot grenade there. Do you think they maybe over relying on its powerfulness to a point, or do you think that they are maybe overestimating it to a point?
It's powerful, but you got to look at what the return is for going elsewhere. Yeah. And the return for elsewhere is a boom shot for an extra round. Yeah. That for me is more powerful than a shock for an extra, every 60 seconds, to be honest with you, because there's no real need to have the shock more than once every 120 seconds, assuming the drop shot doesn't get halved.
Okay, if the drop shot was getting halved, then maybe it makes a bit more sense to go over towards those shot grenades. But either way, ultimately they will lose the map on Asylum. Let's have a look what we have left to play. Icebound is coming up next, and really we did fancy Rated R for Icebound, so if the series gets flipped completely on its head, we could still be going to the last map, because we did expect Obey Alliance to win map number 1. Are we thinking 2-0 now?
I think if things carry on like that, yes, definitely
100%.
so. We've seen Rated R on this map before. I said it at the beginning. They are fantastic on this map, or have been historically fantastic on this map. They've given it to teams like EU's Finest, and really shown what they're about on this map. It's why it gets banned out against them so often. I think it could potentially be a 2-0, but quite honestly, every time I've said a prediction, it's gone the other way. So not every time, but
I would love to work it out.
It's about 50-50, I think, at the moment. But honestly, it's one of those things where if a team shows up on it, they win it, right? And so far, Rated R, history has told us the team that's won the first one's won the second one. That is a stat that we can rely on.
That is indeed. I wonder if we'll have second map fever here though. I'm wondering if it is a close one.
We're going around 13.
I think if Rated R play like that though, and Obey Alliance play how they did in map number 1-2. Yeah. This is a Rated R win fairly comfortably, I think. We were talking about Unchanging Gears the other day. We were expecting a really good series out of these two, but I think we're in danger of seeing a whitewash. To be honest, I think Rated R looking very, very similar. I don't want to call 7-4 whitewash, but map number 1, it's comfortable to a point. Let's be honest, and this is a map that we know they're so strong, and I think it's about that post office control, isn't it? That general area in the middle of the map where everybody tries to push through. That's where everybody.
That's the first time I've heard it called
post office. Same
just
thing.
Just mailing letters out.
They trade things. They just happen to be letters. Same thing.
No, I hear you. It is completely about that controller. Just throwing you in the bus. It's fine.
You could have just played along. We could have called it a post office for the rest of the season.
I could have, but I got to give the correct terms.
Toby Campbell wouldn't have done that.
No, he wouldn't have.
No, he wouldn't
have. But you're right. You're not wrong. You are right. It is about that mid control. It is about controlling that building, getting those sightlines through those windows, and making sure that you have the route through, right? Mm-hmm. Mid control is huge in Gears, especially if you've got that neutral hill control. Neutral hill control on this map is very easy to dictate if you have those strong positions. So I think you're not wrong in what you're saying.
Just the wrong call out. It's not called post office. This ain't Royal Mail. Right.
Is going to be top notch on this map.
Yeah.
It's similar to that up top fight on Asylum, but
9 times out of 10, who was winning that?
Well, Rated R.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I've seen Rated R play Icebound. They've also won this opening fight. They're very, very good at it.
Yeah. So let's see. We will be loading in the map very, very shortly. We are predicting Rated R here. What's your win conditions for Obey Alliance here? Are we talking about that mid control, post office trading point, whatever you want to call it? Is that where they really need to be to try and win this game, or do you think it is just based on that their initials as well? They weren't really winning too many of them. They were very much giving the power weapons over towards Rated R, especially the middle one towards the drop shot because of losing those initials. Do you think that's maybe a big issue in that game?
I'm not sure we're going to see that middle drop again on this map, to be honest with you. I think Obey, they're a team of habit, right?
Yeah.
They play Bunker very similar because they won on it once. They played Asylum very similar here because they had a close game against it on EU's Finest.
Okay.
Icebound, on the other hand, I don't think there's a precedent for them playing a little bit strange on here, right? I think, honestly, they're going to try and match out against Rated R, and I don't think at this moment that's a good strategy for them. Yeah. Only because, from what we saw in that first map, Rated R just looked better in those scenarios where that one bullet matters. We saw early on Warrior Guns just missing that one shot on the drop shot that could have swung the entire round. And it's little mistakes like that are catalyst to the rounds that Rated R have been winning that Obey could have won. They have to be cleaner. They have to pick up those extra little rounds here and there if they have to win this map. That's my condition: is do you manage to pick out those points and take them to victory?
I think when you talk about a 7-4 victory, I think that would have just that final round had those moments where like Warrior Guns didn't win that gunfight, where we had to hold the drop shot. Had he won it, he still would have had a drop shot available. He still would have had control. Those rounds make it that only 6-5 when we ended there to Rated R. It makes it a lot of a closer game. It's not just when we start to go towards the realms of 4-5 rounds. These are like 1 round
swinging
difference,
rounds.
And suddenly we're in a different realm. So I think you're very, very right. This is small mistakes, and if they were fixed by Obey Alliance, we have a closer game and potentially a winning game for them. However, the mistakes did come through. Rated R made the most of them. If Obey Alliance can't snuff those out, then they are going to be in danger here on Icebound.
They are, and this is not to say that we've not seen Rated R make mistakes either.
No,
because
they're
there's a wayward drop shot that I saw hit like one of the outer boundaries buildings straight in the face.
They've been a couple of times guilty of getting maybe a little bit too aggressive, which is
getting run over by the train.
Which is
we've seen it on both sides.
I think the thing is for them is the fact that their aggression is their their positive and their negative. Like,
Yes.
they can do so well with it and get so much control from that aggression. They're very, very good slayers across the board as well.
Yep.
However, if they get too aggressive and it doesn't work out, things can be turned on its head pretty quickly. So if Obey can maybe just make the most of the over-aggression coming out of Radar, there's a lot of different routes that both these two teams could go, and it's really about who goes on to make the least amount of mistakes.
And last time they matched up, that's what Obey did very, very well.
Yep.
Especially on Bunker, there was the great play where they were defending their home hill on that 90-degree angle, and we just saw them just peppering Rated R from all sides. And the aggression from Rated R was what ended up with them in that situation, right? They were pushing heavily for that home hill because they thought, it's fine, we can win this 2v2. Obey used that to their advantage, and they had a great round off that, and they had a great rest of the map off that, to be quite honest with you. They looked fantastic after that point. And it's just confidence breaking for Rated R if, your main weapon, essentially, going into this matchup is being countered so effectively. EU's Finest do that very well, although they didn't against Rated R the first time they played. But in general, that's what they do very well, and it's just why you see their KDAs all the way up, because they're safe, they manage to absorb pressure teams throw at them, and they make the most of those bad situations. Obey, they need to do that here against Rated R and Icebound if they are to come out with a win.
Yep. We are going to be loading in very, very shortly. We were just waiting for somebody rejoin in the lobby, but I can see we are actually loading in now. So let's have predictions then. Do we think this is over? Because I think it is.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I think
right.
this is Rated R 2-0 now. I think just based off, not so much obviously on their past history on Icebound, which we know is good. I think just based off on what we've seen from them in map number 1, the aggression comes through. They get the better of Obey Alliance, and if you're Obey Alliance, you just haven't got to fall into the trap of constantly at those initials, playing maybe a little bit slower. I would say, maybe just sort of sit back, let their aggression come, and counteract it with some good play yourselves. We know how good they can be. The slaying department is very much one of these things that they can match in. However, Saki just hasn't necessarily turned up once again here this week. We've seen him have a fantastic series up against Rated R last time round.
It's very true.
He hasn't had that so far.
He hasn't had that so far, and we didn't see bad performances. We saw a lot of numbers on that previous scoreboard. We'll post them out once we're after the show. There were a lot of kills coming in. We saw people pushing that 50 mark for sure, but it wasn't a standout performance, I don't think. I think it was just that both teams were just scrapping a lot, right?
Yeah.
And from those fights, especially up at that mid-bridge area, that Asylum Bridge area, that's where you do get a lot of eliminations ticking up because everyone is involved in that fight.
Oh, yeah. Everyone likes to get sticky, especially in that area of the map. Like, get down and dirty on the bridge, don't we, Fro?
They do indeed. We do indeed.
Oh.
Always.
Oh, okay. Well,
Absolutely.
You said it.
You said it.
I did, actually.
It was a leading question.
It was. I mean, you didn't need to answer, but...
I kind of feel bad just holding a mute on you. Just
well,
no.
I mean...
That's not happening.
I'd be taking it on the chin, let's be honest.
Let's have a look.
Rated R and going up, getting control of Trading Post.
Oh, we just get control of this stream.
Yeah, we do. We do get control of ourselves, yeah. Anyway, this typical player that we see coming out of Rated R, who are on the Swarm side of things, getting control of Trading Post, not Post Office. How many times am I going to call it Post Office? That's the question. Obey, though, are going to get control of B only momentarily. You win those first initial gunfights towards the mid-map will allow Rated R to have control of Trading Post quite easily. And now the wrap comes around towards C. Of course, this first round, the respawn time is very, very high, which means that gunfight from Sergio is ever more important. Demonic and TJ both falling to his sword. And now it's to push over towards A, and Rated R of maybe not getting as aggressive as we expected in the first round, but it seems to be paying off for them so far anyway.
So far, yeah. They are getting this control back. You see B, that's going to go over to them as well. We'll jump over, see what's going on there. Just Leonard. Trying to get a cheeky cap in as he is fighting away. He's getting crossed out as well. Saki's done well to take that, but does have backup in the wings, so not a problem there. We are seeing Toast get some nice downs here on Saki. Saki now on his last revive, essentially. If he does get picked up, that is. Be a bit more careful with his life. Again, Obey, they are doing well here. We see Saki again. He's going to just eliminate himself there. Decides, actually, it's better to use a life in this scenario. Better just go back to that respawn queue. As he does that, Warrior Gun's getting a lot of downs here on the Rated R members. Dov falling twice himself.
The thing is, they're getting the downs. Yes, okay, they do eventually get rid of Dov, but if you're Rated R, you're the ones in control. You're the ones with the win condition here. And it very much can be about this at this B point. It's all about the Lance of Fire. but the smoke comes through. This could now be the opening moment for Obey Alliance. Are they expecting Toast? Yes, they are. Saki will find him. They are going to manage to get the break. They haven't quite managed to capture it, but they do hold the lead, so one cap will do them just nicely. I think Saki might have put bullets into Demonic there, to be honest with you, and the kill starting to come through. There's going to be Leonard to find 2, and he will break the moment. Did I say it right through?
You did indeed.
Yes.
Victory. Indeed. That's
small
a gold
victories.
Star.
Small victories. Dragons is going to follow up with a kill as well. Warrior Guns will drop, and it's now up to Breaker to try and get something done over towards his home hill. He will go down. The domination is bound to come through. The elimination in the end does come through, and Rated R will pick up where they left off. 1-0 now here on Icebound.
I think, you know, that opener was great by Obey, to be honest with you.
Didn't concentrate too much on the mid control, just went directly for B.
And you know, they did do well out of it. They got the points out of it, but that strangle there by Rated R, they managed to get a lot of control of that mid, to be honest with you. They did have the angles from the trading post, from the tower as well, and in the end they just fought that mid better. They looked better at the B fight. A couple of missed shots here and there as well from both sides, but more so on the side of Obey did help Rated R a little bit out, but they were cleaning up. They did manage to do well.
There you go. Rated R eventually get it done, albeit not necessarily the best start, but I think that's a positive for them. I think if you're Rated R and you don't win it based off your initial gunfights, then that's a positive, because you know you have that in your locker. Saki might get caught out here. We'll have to back on down. Sergio trying to get an aggressive push here, and the flashes and smokes will come out to try and deem who wins this gunfight. Demonic is going to be the first to go down, as does TJ. Leonard is going to drop. Leonard is going to drop his own teammate, though. Sergio does go down, but these gunfights, albeit going over towards Rated R, I might get the names wrong, but there is no doubt in my mind Rated R win that initial gunfight. Saki now in a dangerous spot as well. Momentarily was the last alive, as Breaker, though, obviously over towards C as well. Trying to hide, he will take a couple of bullets. Breaker just accepting his fate at that point. Here come the rest of the team. Is it going to be enough? Oh, is it going to be enough time to try and get a hold of it? It was enough time to try and get to C, but it is not matter. It does not matter even. Wow, words are hard today. Rated R will take this one 2-0 now.
I have to laugh at Breaker there.
I know, he's just like, well...
it is funny. It is funny, right? But he could have done more to help there. And honestly, like... even
you think maybe just playing his life a little bit?
Just waste time, right? Like,
right now for Obey Alliance once again. Trying to get something done here, just trying to stay alive as Saki comes back up, has to win this gunfight. Not expecting a player to be pushing around from the side. There is going to go down to Dove. Saki will clean this up. Trade's going in the favour of Obey Alliance, so they will keep a hold of their home hill, and they will be able to get some ground over towards B, you would expect.
You would expect it. We're going to see Saki. He's going to push into the trading post here, just try and take the fight with Sergio. I would imagine he's got to relieve a bit of that pressure on his teammates, and right now Sergio, he has that ground. On the other side of things, Obey, they've done well. They've pushed Rated R off B hill. They've managed to get the cap. They are starting to claw back points, but with Sergio sat in this hill, it is going to be advantage Rated R for the retake. You can see Dragon's getting a couple of downs himself. They're going to clean those up. Sergio now, he's got the damage down. He's going to push up and he's going to try and take the kill. There is backup for Obey though.
I tell you what, if he manages to get out of this, he'll have done well, but he is going to go down instantly. Saki takes him down and takes down Toast as well. Nicely done. Guesses him with his pants down there. Rated R now. Are momentarily in control. They are going to lose the home hills, though, as Leonard catches Saki out himself now. Leonard twice. Yes, I know, twice. Stop it. Leonard. It's just that extra syllable. It's throwing me off guard.
Oh, sorry.
Leonard now is going to kill Breaker, so they will get a hold of their home hill once again, but they have lost B, they have gained C, and just the rotations coming in from Rated R here are solid. You know, wherever they need to be on the map, they seem to be there. Domination is looking like it's going to come through as kills come across the board. Rated R 3 in a row, 3-0 now.
And they are looking strong.
They are looking very good.
They're looking very good on. You know, there was a shaky opening by Obey. Well, shaky opening by Rated R, sorry. Forced by Obey on that first round, but since then, nothing's really troubled them, to be honest. They've had control at almost all times.
I think looking towards the way they've played this, and you know, the whole thing with Breakup saluting his death, it feels as if it's... Do you feel as if they're already defeated? Do you feel as if they're on Icebound here? They've seen how they lost map number 1. They know how good Rated R are. Do you feel as if their heads are maybe in the bin at this point?
I feel like it's a possibility. They are a pretty emotional team, right?
Okay.
Both regards, you know, they can let their head down, but also if they're on a hot streak, they're also nigh unstoppable. Like they're one of those teams that they really need to be, you know, feeling themselves, really getting into the game to be able to. Saki looking with a great double kill to really, you know, be performing at you know, their potential essentially. Right now, it does look a little like that, to be honest with you. I'm not saying, you know, all is lost here, but.
It's you know, it's one of those things that maybe they are getting in their own head at times. Right now, though, they are getting things done. Could this be the encouragement they need? Kills coming in their favor. It's the domination coming through and a very, very solid round of Obey Alliance. And that's more like it. Maybe that is going to finally direct the wind into their sails to try and get back into this game. Right now, they are 1-0 down, 3-1 down in the map. Well, that's a bit more like it. And it comes off the back of Saki just finding 2 kills in the mid. Trading post control goes over towards Obey. They then find another couple of kills around the map, and they can make the push over towards the home. Hell, they do that. They win the gunfights there. So a perfect round, if anything, from Obey Alliance. 3-1 down now.
We are seeing some very, very standard placements on the map. We have those drop shots on there. We have those timers half now as well. And well, we'll see what happens next time. It might be a case of both drop shots are blocked out as well. We'll see. We'll see how things go. The fight does continue. Demonic just lancering down on the B hill, just keeping an eye on things. A little bit of a safer positioning. This just a little bit further back. Can't get shot from that mid window, which is a nice adjustment because, you know, they have seen that Rated R have been winning that mid fight. So sit a little bit further back and try and play life a little bit. You can last longer, but saying that
was always the tough spot for Demonic to be in. Sergio gets stupidly aggressive. Very, very high sensitivity you feel, Sergio. He's going to get a couple of shots in there, not quite enough. Just peppers him up once again. Warrior Gun's trying to keep control of up top here. It's such an important position to try and play. He is going to get a good shot into Sergio as well, who turns and lets him know he's still here.
4% health for Warrior Guns there, right on the edge, but Sergio taken down to 18 himself, so both players going to reset now. Warrior just going to try and hold this high ground. Problem with that is that he can't then see what Sergio is doing. Sergio going to loop back round, get a bit of cross. Warrior should be pushing him right now, and Sergio trying for that one shot.
Nice.
Great play by Warrior Guns there.
And has allowed the rest of his team to get control of B. For all that Sergio was there trying to get rid of him up top, there was not really much support other than just himself on his own. And
it's very difficult to support that fight though, because Warrior...
I meant as in so much more just maybe over towards B. His teammates helping him from that perspective.
They definitely didn't prioritize the fight at all.
Yeah,
that's definitely true. But when you are, you're so far back near your own home, you kind of expect, your player out there. He's in no man's land, right? He's out there for a reason, and that is to find a single kill. Then he's probably gonna die. So putting more resources over there, it's a difficult trade. It's a difficult trade of resource to be able to keep peppering people into that fight.
Well, Obey Alliance are in the lead. The decap has not quite come through from Dove this time around. It will now. All the kills just raining over towards Obey Alliance. So the drops coming through. Everybody respawning back up from Rated R. They do actually just about have a hold of B and will have that win condition. It will be very, very,
that was so
very slight, but much better from Obey. You're very, very right. The elimination will come through. Rated R choked that round up. 2 rounds in a row here from Obey.
Yep.
Maybe there is life yet.
Yeah, it looks like Breaker, the captain, is give him a bit of a kick at the backside because they definitely do look better. Crossfire was on point there. They look like they're shooting for each other a little bit better now. And yep, you're right. I think Obey bit of wind in their sails. Let's see what they drop down right now. We're looking at some grenades over in the market. Perhaps a block coming out, or are we going to see a match? Let's have a look. Radio is getting hovered. Dov, you can't block out your own drop shot. The drop shot is going to be blocked out. So a little bit of change in strategy here for these placements, but you know, I mentioned it last time, did expect to see that block come out. Usually from both teams, though.
I'm okay. I was just dying. I'm sorry.
It's no problem. It's
My energy drink was somewhat going down the wrong pipe there. We're okay though. We're surviving. Unfortunately for everybody at home. Anyway, Saki and Cole are going to win that initial gunfight over towards trading post. It doesn't necessarily win towards B, but it's that mid control that you do want. It's a pretty standard opening here. Nobody really pulling the trigger quite yet. Saki trying to bounce around and keep a hold of B, or at least just threaten it. Here comes the drop shot though. That's nicely done by Toast, if albeit a little bit late. They will get a hold of B here, Obey Alliance, and will answer back with a couple of kills of their own. Toast has to back on down. Here comes the push over towards A. Obey Alliance really feeling themselves right now, though. In opening 3 rounds that really were dominated by Rated R just seem to have disappeared. It seems to be an afterthought for Obey Alliance. They don't seem to care anymore, as they do find 2 rounds fairly quickly. They were threatening a third. Rated R, though, are going to keep them away and keep a hold of it, and we'll live to fight another day in this round. Warrior Guns now, setting up towards B, just scouting out here. If you're Obey Alliance, you're looking to where Rated R are. Where are their positions? Where are the rest of their team?
Well, that drop shot's just come back up for Rated R, so that'll be the next play for them, I think. We'll be taking that onto the fight. We'll be trying to force Demonic off this mid cover. Maybe even... Let's have a look if there is someone upstairs. Yeah, I was going to say, maybe even try and push Saki off top while they get this decat. We'll see. Let's see what happens here. Should we jump on board with that drop shot? Let's find out what's going on with it. Toast actually just holding the homes. It's kind of interesting here.
Yeah, you would think it would be a pushover towards B, wouldn't you?
Oh, wait, hold up. That's 2 drop shots. That's me.
I'm going to blame you for that.
That was 100% me. That's 100% me.
Dragon's now trying to get aggressive. If your Obey Alliance is working out all right, though. For all that, the drop shot is available for Rated R. They've done absolutely nothing with it. Demonic and Co will clean up shot. Warrior Guns finds 2. This should be the round. Once again over towards Obey Alliance. The win condition is 25 seconds away. Dragons and Co, though, in a dangerous spot. TJ trying to get something done, trying to get aggressive, will go down. And this will allow a home hill push your field coming out of Rated R, but it doesn't look like it will be enough. I think a single cap should just be enough now for the COG side of things. It will definitely be enough for the COG side of things. So Obey Alliance are going to tie this one up, albeit a miracle out of Rated R. Not going to happen this time round. This will be an Obey Alliance round.
Say that, the miracle actually might be coming through.
I tell you what, it might. Breaker's going to go down. Okay, they are going to capture 2, but it may just not be enough in time.
Didn't manage to capture their own home hill.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah, it has to be indeed. Just a couple of extra seconds, but then again, would you have been in that situation if you'd have spent those extra seconds? Who knows?
Very true. Very true.
We'll find out. It is going to be Obey taking that one. 3-3 now at the half.
You see, I called it. I said they were going to win the round.
Said it was all them. All Obey.
Yeah, well,
taking stock of the scoreboard. Here we go. Saki stepping it up as you'd asked for. 26 eliminations at the halfway point. 9 deaths as well, so doing fantastic. Even better, though, Warrior Guns. We called him out in that first map. Second map, he is performing 26-4.
That's quite the stat.
That is quite the stat indeed.
And considering they've lost 3 rounds as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
it's one of those that you could sort of look at and goes, oh, well, he's done well for losing 3 rounds, but you're also questioning how the fact that he's 26-4 and they lost 3 rounds. I mean, that's maybe another thing, but here we go. Saki once again getting aggressive, but Toast this time will catch them off guard and will find 2 with the drop shot. 2 easy kills, looking for the 3rd as well. Doesn't need to find it because Dov has done the damage. Of course, the hills have now flipped. He is now over towards this trading post. Expect maybe a little bit more action over here.
Yeah, you would expect, and you know, that's the difference between having that drop shot blocked out and the drop shot ready for the fight. Rated R, they do have the opportunity there to just support their team from afar.
It didn't seem to help them last round, though.
It didn't, and that was more Obey playing a better game. It did take out Warrior Guns, so they did get a kill with it. But honestly, a double kill is much more impactful, especially now that the ring has switched over to this side. That's also another thing we've got to take into account.
Well, Obey getting very, very aggressive now. Toast found it back on down. Will clean up Saki after the rest of his team did good work on the Warrior, who somehow found a kill on the Toast there before going down. A martyr for the cause, you feel, as Rated R now will not actually have a hold of anything here. Dragons are going to have to try and get a hold of E. They will get their home hill again and do have a lead, and will keep that lead. Just as they do get a hold of F there now. Dobbs there to help his teammate. Win condition is on Rated R side of things. They are just about ticking over on the 1 cap. Toast is going to get a hold of that drop once again. But Obey now. Looking for the setup. It just takes one good break. But it's going to come down to Toast sitting back here with this drop shot. He's going to be impossible to get rid of. So if I'm Obey Alliance, I'm sacrificing somebody for the greater good at this point, because how are they supposed to get rid of Toast here?
I mean, you can't. The one thing that that Obey have been playing around, and I've not called it out just yet, and it's been pretty interesting, is that they're actually opting to take smoke grenades on those front spawns rather than the flashbangs. Flashbang is usually the loadout that we see from people, because it does help in those opening fights. Obey, on the other hand, they have had the smoke grenades in hand, and honestly, it has had mixed results. I've felt so far. They've been trying to block vision from the tower, for example, or from the mid room. They've not managed to get those smokes down perfectly just yet, so they haven't really succeeded doing that. But I like the idea. I like the utilization of a different kind of weapon. Warrior Guns, that's not the role you want to do. Of a different weapon on that loadout. Interesting to see teams mixing it up there.
Obey Alliance got aggressive over towards trading post, but what they were actually doing whilst they allowed Toast to pick up 2 easy kills was send everybody else over towards F, and they did decap that momentarily. And that's going to actually allow them to gain some control over towards E. So this has really worked out in Obey Alliance's favor in the end. It is actually going to be another drop shot available for Sergio, though. So I think, though, if you are Obey Alliance, the fact that you're keeping these rounds close is still a positive thing for you, considering you do not have that drop shot.
Yep.
And the enemy team do, but yet you find yourself in the lead, albeit it was just momentarily. They've lost that now. It's going to come down to 1 break as we head past the 200-point mark for both teams in a second. TJ trying to get it done. He will draw out the shot, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. Though Sergio finds his teammate as well as TJ, so that worked out for Obey Alliance. They're happy enough for that. Haven't lost too much, or if anything, from that drop. So here we go. The engagements come through. Sergio getting aggressive here is going to find the shots on the Warrior Guns. Toast finds one at Demonic as well, so it's now a 3v4 as Warrior Guns makes it now a 3v3 up top. Toast is going to answer back with a kill onto Warrior Guns. But look at the points on the top left corner. They're ticking over towards Rated R. D is going to be capped by Obey Alliance, but Rated R still have some work to do here. Nobody capturing E, but they are keeping them off D. They're keeping them off everything here. Rated R should walk away with this round. It should be their first and 4. It would take a small miracle here from Obey Alliance. It's going to be impossible. Rated R with another round on the board. Drawing that one out, but there was just final few gunfights not going in Obey's favor.
Yeah, it was really quite close. I was going to give a bit of a props for the drop shot, but even with that double kill, that drop shot that came in, Obey, they hung on. They're just clinging on to every single round, and that's better. Yeah. That's better from Obey. They want to be fighting out. Those first 3 rounds, we saw the goodbye salute from Breaker. Now he's leading his team in this charge. Saki, he's getting in there with those fights, and he's doing what we've called him out for in the previous round. He's slaying out. As is Warrior Guns leading the way, 32 kills on his name. We did see that block come in, though. Yep. And now both drop shots blocked out. Let's see how things play out when it's just even Steven for the weapons.
But Obey Alliance, for all that they have not had a hold of that drop shot, they are still within touching distance. Can they do what Rated R could not and make advantage of the situation? In the next round, of course, nobody has the drop shot this time around, but there will be 2 rounds in a row where they will have a hold of that. And Rated R will not, or at least momentarily anyway. Rated R may choose to, of course, disable that themselves. But Breaker and Cole trying to get aggressive over towards E. They have lost the initial gunfight stuff. If they're not careful, Rated R at a 5-3 lead is not a position you want to be in if you're Obey, and it's a good amount of control for Rated R here. They get the kills and they get them unscathed. We'll have complete control of this mid map.
Yeah, it's almost like not having the drop shot to worry about enables Rated R to play their more aggressive game, because they're not getting in the way of their own teammate in that sense. They've always got all 5 members able to shoot, able to fight.
Yeah.
With the drop shot, someone sitting back, maybe being a little bit nervous about killing their own teammates. There's a question there about mentality, but I honestly think Rated R, that was a much better opener from them. I think they looked a lot stronger there, and they took their fights with ease.
Not maybe putting too many eggs in the drop shot basket, so to speak.
And there's that smoke grenade that I was talking about in the prior round, just trying to block off a bit of vision from the opposing team.
They need to get rid of Toast here. They know that. Look at the fire coming from every single angle from Rated R. Especially Toast will go down, and that should allow Obey Alliance to get a hold of it, at least decap it anyway. The aggression now going to come through from Rated R, and it's just a case of keeping them off it. Sergio is going to go down, though. Nicely done by Warrior Guns, cleaned up by TJ. Dov is going to answer back with a drop onto Saki, and he's getting aggressive over towards the D side of things from Obey Alliance, but Dov does shut him down.
Yeah, he's just trying to get that cheeky little decap. So
yeah.
if you can flank around underneath the player in that tower, sorry.
Flash is coming through. I'll interrupt you while the push comes through, actually, from Rated R. They need to win these gunfights because he actually belongs to Obey Alliance. Leonard finds to Warrior Guns and Demonic going down. That should be E now in the hands of Rated R. They now have the win condition.
I am very surprised Leonard didn't go for that decap on the home hill then. There was no one over there from Obey, and they still had 7 seconds on the revive. For me, make that play, get the decap, you put Obey in such a difficult situation.
Leonard is eventually going to go down after finding one. Now Obey actually find a few kills of their own. Sergio is momentarily the last one alive and actually will get aggressive. That's nicely played by Sergio. He's sold them an absolute dummy there. If he can find TJ here, oh my word, he has literally just kept a hold of E all on his own. Demonic, you don't want this gunfight right now. Sergio is feeling himself and is actually going to get taken down. But irrelevant to the point, he did his job. He will hold E, and he will allow Rated R to walk away as winners of that round. I love that play out of him. Yep. He gets the Lancer Fire from up top. He's going to be chased around the side, drops down the other side, and then wins the gunfight while capturing E. Nicely done by Sergio.
What a play. That was
I unnecessarily gassing that? I just thought that was really nice.
No. It was very nice, and to be honest, he almost had that last fight as well. It was a question of inches in that fight, and maybe one pellet the other way, he would have won that. Bit of a misplay as well by Obey coming in there into that fight.
Yeah.
But honestly, Sergio stepping up, really making his name known.
All right then. Okay, so that is actually. Was that probably placed
so
by...
this is very smart by Obey. They have waited for their drop shot to come back up and have timed it perfectly with that boom shot placement mid-map. That means they should have the advantage going in here.
So Rated R actually chose to go with the incense, and that's what Obey answer with. But they need to make it work. Theory is all very good, but execution is what's important here from Obey Alliance. Staring down the barrel a little bit. 4 rounds will do it for them, but Rated R only 2 away. These are the swing rounds. These are the big rounds. 5-4 is a very, very different scoreline to 6-3. So can they get themselves within touching distance here? Let's have a look what's available now. So Warrior Guns does have that drop shot.
Here's the incense. So they're pretty far back, to be quite honest with you. They're just hiding him. We have the drop shot up here.
Boom.
Right in the middle on the floor still.
Oh, okay.
So you see it flashing right there on the
oh, yeah, I see it.
That's what we're waiting for. That's what
I was, for some reason I had drop shot that was down at home.
Yeah. But you're right. This is what they're still looking for, right? Both teams are trying to work each other out. It's a bit of a puzzle from both of them, and no one really wants to make that first move because they don't really know what the reaction is going to be from those incense from that drop shot.
Well, the ones in the better position seems to be Obey Alliance, I'll be honest.
So Obey can leave. This is the one thing that they can do, is that they can leave because no one is getting that boom shot out whilst there is a drop shot looking at it, right?
Yeah.
They may get it on the second pick, but in the time that, Obey have moved around.
Here it comes, drop shot coming through. It's not going to land on anything at all.
That was not what you wanted from that drop shot.
Oh, Warrior Guns, it looked like he was destined for 2s, but I think it's just the other side of the box there. Dragon's now getting aggressive over towards the spawn. Oh my word, there comes the boom out of Dov. He is going to find his own teammate, but will find Warrior Guns as well. The kills coming in Dov's favor, coming in Rated R's favor. That initial works out in the favor of the team already in the lead. A couple of kills coming in the favor of Obey Alliance, though, so they may actually have a chance to push over towards E. Leonard is now here with the Lancer in hand, just trying to slow them down. Obey Alliance should get a hold of E. They will get a hold of E. Rated R just at the back on down. Good initial stop by Rated R there to get a hold of that midpoint. But Obey Alliance maybe a little bit of a misplay out of that.
Bit of a misplay. I also think they just played it way too slow. They gave Rated R a chance to get those incendiaries around to their home, around to that mid fight.
It's a big fight.
It is indeed.
Saki and Co. trying to get something done here. They really need these rounds. Saki has done enough just to distract, in all honesty. You don't find a lot with it. Sergio is going to catch him out as well. But the distraction tactic, he's wasted a little bit of time. He's pulled resources away from the middle of the map there. So maybe it works out in Obey Alliance's favor. They are going to get a hold of E, but they now have lost D and are really stuck in between a rock and a hard place. The COG team win condition is up because D has not quite been capped. Rated R stepping off that one maybe ever so slightly early. Drop shot now in the hands of Rated R as well. Of course, that will be coming up for Obey Alliance if it hasn't already. These gunfights, though, which direction are they going? Rated R just about surviving. Warrior Guns are going to drop to the ice. This is a win condition for Rated R as they have both the home hills now.
Boom shot up in 20 seconds. It's going to be up before that drop shot comes up this time around. So this fight is going to be a little bit more difficult for Obey to work around. The incendiaries, they were in the hands of Rated R, but I think they may have been used already.
Really nice Lancer fire by Obey Alliance. Actually, they just shoot the fish in the barrel, so to speak. Rated R now, though, have actually put themselves in a really solid spot. Warrior Guns are somehow going to survive that. Dove does not find a kill. Are they going to see the second round the corner? Not quite. Dragons catches Warrior Guns off guard. Here come Obey Alliance
as well. TJ, he does have time to. I like this from TJ. He didn't force the play at all. They've got to look out for these 2 more members from Rated R coming off the spawn. But if they can take this, they might just dominate. Demonic, that's not the play you need. That one is, though. They managed to take out Toast in 4 seconds. They maybe get this domination in. Dove, the last chance, does not manage to get a touch. And Obey, they will take that 4th round. And that was very well played right to the wire from Obey. But they timed it to perfection. They come out with the round win.
And if you Rated R there, do you feel as if they get maybe a little bit aggressive? Maybe if you get a hold of the home hill, back it on up, knowing that the boom shot's coming up,
that's
and then maybe wrap back around. Yeah,
you do make that rotation. Best play there.
I'm a Gears caster now.
Best play there is to go back, get that boom shot control.
Yeah.
Even if you don't pick it up, if you're set up around it, you waste enough time that Obey can't get that cap and get the home cap, and that's the thing that's important here is the time it takes. In that scenario, Breaker, he just had a free run to that boom shot and managed to get out with it scot-free.
So incens have been halved on one side of things, and the disable's still there. So Rated R are going to have a hold of that incend a little bit earlier. Would you agree with that pick there? I think, you know, it probably makes most sense as they send over absolutely everybody towards trading posts. It's actually an absolute bar fight in here. TJ and Co, I mean, who is winning this gunfight? In the end, it is going to be Obey Alliance. Warrior Guns is going to take down Demonic, and they will get control of Trading Post. Warrior Guns is going to find a kill on the Dove. Leonard now answers back with the kill on Saki. Warrior finds one on the Dove and one on the Leonard as well. You know what? I keep getting it right and then getting it wrong again. Either way, this is looking like a domination coming through from Obey Alliance. They are just going to back off D and allow Rated R to capture that one back. The damage is already done now. Obey Alliance with control.
Yeah, you know, a mistaken boom drop shot there from Warrior Buns, but he makes up Warrior Buns.
Warrior Buns.
not quite.
Right, okay, Leonard is nowhere near as bad.
That's 1 for 1 from Warrior Guns. But the double kill makes it up for his team there, and you know they've got this boom shot out. They have they got control over this E hill. They've got the mid map control that they want, and honestly, Demonic, he doesn't really need to be here. He doesn't need to be this close.
Oh my word.
He nearly took a boom shot in the back.
I know, TJ. Threading the eye of a needle there with the boom shot, and will help his teammate now with a couple of little hits with a pistol. And Seju actually going to find 1 or 2 with the inside, one of them being his teammate. Breaker now getting a hold of that drop shot as well. TJ has the boom shot. This is looking like an Obey Alliance round. Rated R have really got very little on the board recently. Everybody dropping 2 as well. They're getting forced back. TJ trying to get aggressive. He's got Demonic in tow as well, who will find his 2nd kill. TJ with 46 eliminations on the board here for Obey Alliance. He's dragging them back into this game. Finds another as well. Toast going to go down, and it just keeps on rolling. Obey Alliance find another round. 5-5 now. 2 rounds in a row. You're going to say it. Don't. Go on. I'll let you.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If it gets to round 13, I'll do it. I'll do it. But
you got your John Travolta costume in there,
isn't it?
Yeah, it is getting there. It is getting there.
It is getting there. I love what I'm seeing from Obey now. I am. They're taking the fights to Rated R. They're slaying out some questionable drop shots still coming in. But honestly, they're playing their game. They're playing how they want to play it, and that's good Gears to me. If they are taking the fight, fair enough.
Block going to come through here? No. Utilities placed down.
Going to come down. I think both teams used their block.
Yeah, they both use them.
So we're out of blocks right now, but those incendiaries, they are halved. We have got this utility now as a bit of a benefit on the side of Rated R, but honestly, it's not all that, to be honest with you. It's small enough not to worry about it.
Well, TJ is going to be the first one to go down. Warrior Guns does land his drop shot this time out onto Sergio. Dragon still has a hold of his, as far as I'm aware, unless there has been a missed one. It's going to find the shots onto TJ, though, who will be dropped and will be killed. Toast going to clean that one up. Demonic answers back with the kill, though. Is going to find Toast, just making sure that one's secured. It is going to find the kill on a Dove as well. Nicely done by Demonic. This will give OB Alliance the priority they need. There comes the drop shot, though. He's had that hidden in his back pocket. Warrior Guns and Saki go down, and for all of OB Alliance's good work, it has now just been completely shut down. Really nicely, patiently done play by Dragons. And they will get a hold of it now. Nicely done by Rated R. That initial capture goes in their favor.
Yeah, I've got that boom shot out for it as well. This should be a pretty easy kill for Leonard as he... Yeah, he connects pretty good. And uses that boom shot pretty quickly. There's a lot of... what I'm trying to get at here is a lot of early use, I think, for the boom shot. I don't know if
you
agree.
Do you think it's one of those where you should maybe just save it for the optimal moment? Or?
I think it's a case of saving it until you can defend the hill, because, you know, the hill is the priority, right?
Drop shots coming up now as well. Maybe if yours doesn't swing in one way and the other team's does, having that boom shot is maybe the trump card in that situation.
And also right now we're 10 rounds in. The respawns are real quick, right?
Yeah.
So using that boom shot on a kill on a play that's going to come back in, perhaps you're looking at targeting certain players. You can see Dragon Sergio down to 0 now, as is Toast. So in that regard, if you can get that elimination, perhaps it is worth it. He's rolled back into it.
That's not very nicely done. You put Breaker in a really bad spot. And he's hit the top bit of wood there as well, I feel. And that's a bad insend as well.
Drip, drip, drip. The fire will drop and it will do some damage, not full damage, but
it's
not enough.
It's not
You're
enough.
blocking yourself off, to be honest.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they put it there, and it's not really going to do anything apart from negate what you're trying to do, which is capture E, which I mean, they're going to decap it at least. But the kills going in the favor of Rated R. They will take that win condition. 30 seconds or so. Saki's actually going to drop to the ice after being dropped by Dove. And once again, it is Rated R getting control of trading post. Breaker and Warrior Guns trying to get something done. It's not going to happen. It is going to be a Rated R round. They are going to be within one. I mean, would it be a map number 2 in the year's EU Pro League without a round number 13?
I don't think it would.
Saying.
I don't think it would.
Go on, I'll you say it.
Oh no, it's not. I told you.
You waiting until round 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to.
Yeah, you can't just bust it out every week.
This is it, right? It's a special moment.
The fans get used to it. Well, it doesn't become special if you say it every game.
That's true. That's very true. So we're not going to do it.
No. Anyway, it looks like we're probably just going to see some loadouts come through. Utility grenades going through this time for Leonard.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I really need to embed that into my brain.
I think you've done it.
I don't think I have.
You're getting there. You're getting better throughout the series.
I'm getting better. It's still. I keep going back to it.
Yeah. The one thing they can't do, obviously, is upgrade those incendiaries to the boom shot. That would be the usual path for it.
Yeah.
But given that it's down at the bottom there, nothing going to be able to come through. So both teams kind of stuck to using these utilities now to fight over the weapons that are on the board.
I can't say I've seen a massively great use by either team with them so far. So I don't want to necessarily give it over to either one, but. Here we go then. Rated R, only need one. TJ moving in a little bit stuck there. Is just about going to get through. Look at the firing squad up on the top rock there. Here comes the drop shot as well. Dragon's killing everybody, including his teammate. It will find TJ though, and I think that's probably the more important thing is that they get him out of trading post. That gives them a bit more priority over towards this east side. They've got the numbers, but they also can't see as Dragons is now being flashed. Push needs to come through from Obey if it is going to come through. Saki now is in a world of trouble. If he gets out of this, he'll have done very, very well. He is going to go down, as is Demonic, as is Warrior Guns. There should be an E-capture for Rated R, and should at least be some control of the round. Look how aggressive they're getting up. They smell blood in the water, and they are hunting. TJ now needs to do something here. Leonard gets a hold of the boom shot because he hasn't a hold of the middle one. TJ might be the one coming through on the flank, but the rest of his team need to push through the front door. They do so well. Leonard is going to find one there on the Toast. And on the Warrior Gun, Saki and TJ are answering back. They are going to be able to deny the domination, and TJ just finds 3 massive kills for his team, and they're going to be able to stretch this over towards D. Sergio running with his tail between his legs. But TJ, we talked about how important he's been for this team in this game. 53 eliminations. That might be 3 of the best right there out of OB TJ. And he just shuts that down all on his own. They're not going to quite get a hold of E. They may do shortly. They're still in a bad spot. But TJ takes them away from the brink of death.
Yeah, he's given them that lifeline. That was such a fantastic triple kill. He defended all the way through and then managed to come out clutch at the end when his team really needed him to. As you said, up there, almost hitting 60 kills, and now his team, they're going to try and get hold of eHill. They haven't quite got the capture in. The drop shots, they trade each other out, so
You gotta go.
don't have to worry about that too much. Toast, he's pushed back into the corner now, and Obey, they are getting a little bit of control over eHill. They do have to get this decap for me. We do see 2 players eliminated here from Rated R. Sergio's out, Dov is out. Dragons, he's on 0 lives as well as Toast as well, so there is opportunity here for Obey. You do see on the other side though, TJ, Demonic, Saki, all on 0 themselves, so it has to be perfect.
Let's see how long this is until there's drop shots up for Rated R, because you can only say that that's the only route into this. 5 seconds, and that one's going to be coming back up, so that is where they're going to look to try and get something done here. If you're Obey, you just have to spread yourself.
Honestly, if I'm Obey, I'm looking for the kills. You've got a 5v3, you know there are 3 members up, you know you've got a drop shot, and you know you've got a 2-person advantage. Go for the kills, put them down to 1 for the next round as well. You've got a huge advantage going into that round 13.
Drop shots now out. Breaker's going to find Toast.
That's not too bad, Breaker. You know, he's traded out Toast. Toast, he's now out of lives as well, so only going to be on 1 in that next round. Next boom shot isn't used too well, but Obey, they are going to force it. We are going around 13. It is Saturday Night Fever, and we're getting it good here in the European Pro League, because 6-6, perfect score. This is what we wanted to see.
You said Saturday Night Fever, though.
It's not even Saturday, it's Monday.
It's not, it's Monday. It's second map fever through. It's a catch line. You got it
I'm
wrong.
excited. I'm getting too excited.
Wow, what a round that is out of Obey Alliance. How the hell have they managed to stay in this one? Let's be honest. Round 13, we go.
I'll tell you what, they
Frag
did
grenades
TJ.
now placed.
TJ is how they did it. Frag grenade's going to go down. What are they going to respond with? That is the question.
Rated R. Are they going to half the boom shot? Oh, they're going to disable it. No, boom shot has been placed, or has been halved. No disable able to come through, of course.
And what you are seeing as well, if you have a quick look, quicker respawn than those drop shots now. So the fight is going to be for the boom shot more often than not.
Well, let's see. Who can come away with it?
Let's get on this overhead. Let's see what happens in this opening fight. As both teams going to run in. TJ, he's going to be the first one in. Drop shot does come out. It is going to miss. Second drop shot going to come in. Almost gets the double kill. TJ gets taken out. Demonic, he gets out with his life, but advantage Rated R as they try and push for the E.
I said that firing squad's there once again up towards Pipes, but Demonic trying to get something done. Toast will sacrifice himself. Warrior Guns finds a kill on the Dragons as well. So if anything, these fights are very much just about over towards Obey Alliance. The points haven't quite changed. Nobody's get a hold of E, but look at those respawns. They belong to Obey Alliance. They can quite happily play the slaying game here. They can quite happily play it. Actually saying that, Demonic does have 0 life, as does TJ, so if anything, it's very even. Scratch that completely as the boom is now brought out, but sacrificed is Dov as he finds Warrior Guns. Toast will take down Saki. Honestly, at this point, no idea who really has priority here. Who has the advantage in this round? I'd say it's maybe slightly over towards Rated R because they have that very slight tick in the top left corner. But other than that, both these two teams, 0 respawns for Demonic.
Well, you've got to look at Breaker. Breaker
0
is
for TJ as
Breaker
well.
is the player they have to use here. They need to not sacrifice Breaker, but they need to utilize Breaker
needs to be the guy.
to try and force a kill onto one of these players with 0 lives. He's got lives to play with. You know, you can put him into uncomfortable situations, because even if he wins 1 out of 2 fights or 1 out of 3 fights, you're still going to be at an advantage if you manage to eliminate a player.
So Breaker, you're the guinea pig, my friend. You're the guy that has to make these pushes. Warrior Guns, of course, sitting back, only 1 respawn remaining for him, and he will be looking for a kill with that drop shot. We can see it is equipped by him, and if you're Obey Alliance, you're the ones, if anything, with the advantage, as said. Looking for a kill onto any one of Dov, Toast, or Dragons. If you are Obey Alliance, to make this a 5v4, but they have to be careful. Demonic, as said, and TJ is low. Dov is dead, and he is gone from the round. If you're Rated R now, you need to make something happen. You need to find something, and that's aggression over towards the boom. The drop shot comes through. We'll find one on the Breaker. TJ goes down to Dragons, and there's going to be deaths across the board here. Saki, though, is going to find a kill on the Sergio. This is feeling like an Obey win. Swarm win condition comes up, though. It's momentarily a 4v4. As TJ is gone, Dov is gone. No more respawns remaining. Toast has just been dropped. If they can find the kill on him, this will be massive.
If they loop around the boom shot, that's what they need to do. They need to get this boom shot in a situation where
This
they can
is
take a kill.
huge.
Does he manage to connect? He does get Leonard. He does down Toast Jess as well. He's going to fall to the ice. This is going to be Obey's round if they can just keep hold of things right now. They've got the advantage. They've killed Toast.
3v4.
They've killed Dove. TJ is still out, but Warrior Guns, he's going to revive. They have the advantage here.
3v4. They have the advantage. They have the grenades. Dragons is being pushed. He's between a rock and a hard place. He's trying to get out. This would be huge if
He's
they
got the
can
wrong
take...
weapon out.
Oh, they are going to take him down. Dragons now is dropping 2v4. The only thing for Rated R here is the fact that they have got time on their side. They do have the boom. This is doable. This is doable. Demonic. Oh, Leonard is not going to land anything. He needs to win this gunfight against Brick. That's a huge gunfight to win. Breaker will respawn. Sergio goes down, though. Leonard is the last guy alive. Not really much of a hope. Not really much of a prayer. And for the very first time in the Gears EU Pro League, we are heading to map number 3. It's not in the order we thought we would. But these two teams have got a game on our hands now. 7-6 is the win for Obey Alliance. We're heading for a late one. We're heading for a late one. Rated R, forced to a map number 3 here.
That we are. Map number 3. I can't believe it, to be honest with you. Every time we say, oh, should we flip over to a 2-0? And every time we give a prediction, the teams, they just come up trumps again and just surprises over and over again. What a comeback from Obey. They were down 3 rounds at the start. They looked deflated. In the end, they're the team that really drive home those kills.
Yeah.
The eliminations were huge there.
You have to say about TJ. You have to talk about that play.
What
that has to be it.
What
that has
a
to be that
highlight reel
moment.
play.
That has to be the moment.
Everybody's
Everybody's been complaining at me about the lack of good players in the top 5 players. I will not hear it about that one. I'll not hear it. That was good, and it's going in.
It is going in. It should go in because it did. It saved Obey.
Yeah, 100%.
It was probably the most clutch play I've seen on Gears 5 so far, to be quite honest with you. Right on the money. Just as the domination's about to kick in, he comes out, triple kill, beautiful kills. Fantastic play.
To map number 3 we go. It is going to be Vasgar. Last time these two teams did play on Vasgar was an Obey Alliance win, 7-6. Oh, God. Which way does this go? In all honesty, I have no idea. We looked towards Asylum. We said, we think Obey will take it. Rated R took that one. We looked towards Icebound. We're like, well, Rated R should close this one out. This is a really good map for them. Obey take it. So, who the hell knows who's going to win Vasgar, in all honesty. Let's have a look how this one has broken down. I've just told you, but here you go. In graphical form, of course. Rated R 7-4 on Asylum. A little bit more comfortable than the last map was anyway, as Obey Alliance took that one 7-6. It comes down to those respawns as well. I think, if that isn't the situation, then Rated R are in a much more comfortable spot. It's one of those things that you just maybe got a bit aggressive and you pay for it in the later rounds, and they did indeed pay for it. Those last 2 rounds coming down to the fact that they just didn't have enough people alive on the map to help them defend these hills. Icebound went in the favour of Obey Alliance. Which way will Vasgar go?
It's a question on everyone's mind, right? I mean,
we said if it went the last map, we fancied Obey. We didn't think it would go this way. Let's be honest, but
it is true. You're right. We did say that Obey 2-1 could be the scoreline here at the start of the show. Asylum, though, that got mixed up. We had no idea that was going to be such a barn burner there. Rated R come out 7-4 and flip the tables already. But honestly, Obey they look strong there, but it was also still very close.
Yeah,
that's the one thing that I'm taking from that is that it wasn't so much of a, I'm not saying whitewash, but it wasn't so much of an easy game as Asylum was for Rated R. Obey, they had to struggle for that. They had to fight for that, and they had to come clutch for that. Whether or not they can do that again on Vasgar is to be questioned. They did it last time. They did do that last time. They came up clutch, and they managed to beat out Rated R. But, it was 7-6 again, and I honestly don't know. I think Obey may come through still and win this, but
yeah,
Rated R, they've got the toolkit.
That's where I'm leaning. I feel as if Rated R have been battered from pillar to post in some of these games. They've lost close games constantly, and maybe heading to a map number 3 could be a step too far for them once again. These close games, they just can't seem to quite seal the deal, and I just think that might actually go on to hurt them in this last map. Is the pressure? They've lost a lot of close games.
Is that the third 7-6 they've lost now, Rated R?
I believe they Obey on Vasgar. And lost to R Damage on District, 7-6. If I'm right, that was last week.
Icebound as well.
And now Icebound as well. Yep.
Yeah.
So, round 13 ain't it. It ain't it if you're Rated R.
It's not theirs, is it? It's not theirs. But maybe that's something to go back and look at. Why are we losing so many of these tiebreaker rounds? Is it?
It's come down to lives a couple of times. It has to be said. If I remember rightly, last week there was a couple of occasions here and there where they were getting very close to it. So I said we talked about their aggression. How aggressive they like to be can sometimes be a hindrance to them.
Yes.
It can be a positive as well, of course, but sometimes getting so aggressive and wanting to play for the kills all the time, if they aren't going in your favor, especially towards those latter rounds, that's when things can really start to hurt. So, I don't know. I think Rated R have got a puzzle to piece together, to be honest with you, and figure out what's going wrong for them in these latter rounds. But they're still in this series. It has to be said. We're going into map number 3, which was a map they only lost very, very slightly against Obey Alliance last time round. We thought this would be a good game. After map number 1, I honestly didn't think it was going to be. I was thinking this is going to be a flat 2-0, but now that Obey Alliance decided to turn up after the first 3 rounds of Icebound, we really do have a series on our hands. We're going to be heading to Vazgar very, very shortly. We are going to be loading into this one immediately, actually. We're going to be heading into this one in a second. You know, I'm thinking to myself, when we load in, production just brings it up, and he's like, look, the countdown's coming in. We're loading in a second.
Do not fret.
Do not fret. He's got me. He's my guy. Anyway, what are we thinking? Are we thinking Obey?
I'm thinking Obey. I'm thinking it's going to be close. Would not be surprised to see another round 13. I think, though, if Obey start to get a couple of these opening rounds, then it becomes a bit one-sided, and then Obey take it.
How many of these close blows can Rated R take?
Rated R, if they open strong, that's when it's going to go the distance.
Game in our hands,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. Last time round, if I remember rightly, it seemed as if it was really Obey Alliance maybe playing Vazgar a little bit better, but the sling was keeping Rated R there to a point. So if we have that same sort of development and they do start losing close rounds, once again, you feel as if the tilt factor could maybe come in for Rated R, and it's one of those things where you're like, oh, well, you know, it's here we are again, close games, and it just seems that we can't get things done. The only time these two teams have played this map is against each other in week number 2, I do believe. And that one went over towards Obey Alliance. You can see that round win percentage is very slightly in the favour of Obey Alliance. As that said, was a 7-6. Hopefully we can get this one started up straight away. We are going to get this one started up straight away. And we are going to head over towards map number 3 for the very first time here in the EU Gears Pro League. Which way does this one swing? Vazgar, very different map, in all honesty. It's one of those where it's not necessarily as linear as you would like, and it really can be a little bit crazy. It can be about those sneak little plays to get control of where you don't think your enemy is going to be. Saki and Gordo getting things done over towards the B side. Toast is the last bastion here for Rated R, and he is actually going to have company as well. Saki's going to try and get something done, but will eventually get taken down by Toast. These initials head over towards Rated R.
That they do indeed. And we asked, can they open strong? It looks like they've been all right so far. They managed to get a few kills underway. Warrior, though, as I say that, does manage to get a down on Sergio. Break cleans that up. Also gets a down on Dov himself. But it looks like C. That is going to be Toast's fine ground as he's 1v1 against Saki. The flash grenade does come out. Toast just trying to get the cap in, but he's taking a lot of damage for it. Saki, he knows this. The domination isn't going to tick in. The domination is definitely not going to tick in now. Toast is dead, and Obey just hanging on in the opening rounds. They're all right. They're 20 points behind, but they do have control over their home hill. They got control over this B hill. And they are getting kills over to the side.
Sergio's the last one remaining for now. We did have Leonid. Leonid. Wow, I've just went in a completely different direction now, haven't I?
It's alright. It's alright.
We'll ignore it.
I was just checking to see if...
I was wondering what you were checking.
Yeah, I wanted to check something, and I was just checking to see if the teams had played the same sides last time, or if they, switched sides, because there is a bit of a, bit of a discrepancy between the sides on this specific map. It is actually the same size as last time, so COG was Rated R last time as well. Nothing different at all this time around.
You could ask me. I remember the Breaker play, and I remember you definitely wasn't a COG player. He definitely wasn't. He was definitely a member of the Swarm.
Yeah, now you mention it, I'm thinking back to that highlight reel. I do remember a lot of Locust, a lot of Swarm on there.
Yeah. So this round though is one of the longer round number 1s we've seen in quite some time. Actually, both these two teams have been quite happy to get stupidly aggressive on each other, and most of the time it has been Rated R to take that first round. Can they do it 3 times in a row? And it's feeling that way. The more that this one does tick on down, the C push coming out of Obey Alliance has to work for them. Kill's going to they're going to come through. There you go, really nicely done, and they are going to be able to lock down C. They have lost their control. but they should be able to make a decent push over towards B with those respawn timers being so long. 3 members of both teams up momentarily, but it is actually Rated R with the momentary control as they do push over towards B. And I don't think a 1-cap is going to be enough here. They're going to need to get a hold of something over towards A. Swarm will win in 25 to confirm my suspicions, but look at the aggression coming in here from Rated R. It's a party up top on the stairs, but it is actually going to go over towards Obey Alliance in the blink of an eye. They find all 3 kills, and that is going to be a domination coming through unless something can be done here, and I feel as if it may just be a formality of a fight. Obey Alliance for the first time take round number 1. We said a strong start coming out from Obey could spell the end for Rated R. It's a very, very good start as they take round number 1.
Gotta look at this scoreboard. We were 1 round in, and TJ is already down to 2 respawns. Obviously, he will get some back at half-time, but half-time is a long way away at this point, so you got to be careful. Yes, you've won the round. What was it worth? Yeah. There was another question there of Leonard running into that fight at the end. Yes, he was trying to delay that domination, but if he dies in that fight, he loses a life. He didn't in the end. He loses a life. If he wins the fight, decaps the D, yes, he's made a very, very good play, but does he need that life later on? Who's to know?
You make a good point. It's one of these things where you have to think about these latter rounds. I mean, case in point, being Rated R in those last 2.
Yeah.
I think you have to look towards that, but let's see how this one goes. Obey Alliance are going to take the lead here. The initials once again going over towards Rated R, and that really did seem like a Rated R round for the most point, but then they go on to lose that last big gunfight, that last big team fight, if you like. That's what their downfall came from. Toast is going to find a kill at the TJ though, and Saki will have to back on down. We have a Lancer fight going on here. Nobody really getting a toehold on C. It has been decapped, and A and B is in Rated R's favor, so Obey Alliance currently getting absolutely nothing from this game. They will eventually get a hold of C. The damage has already been done, 50 to 25. Breaker getting a good kill. Sergio though will advance forward over towards B.
That they will. Having a bit of a fight over this A hill as well. Leonard, he's stuck between 2 Lancers. Got to be very, very careful. Some great movement here, and his teammate does back him up, but gonna fall in the end. Demonic picks up 2 actually there. That was a nice defense by him, and elsewhere as well. Breaker picks one up, Saki picks one up, and the domination almost coming in there. Sergio, he's going to fall for his efforts, and the domination now does tick in. Obey do lock in their second round, and it's looking strong from Obey.
It's looking really good. That was a quicker round than the last one. Rated R not at the races here at all. Once again though, TJ still on those 2 respawns. So finds at least 1 death in that round. Shotgun heads now going to come out from probably both sides of things, as it wouldn't surprise me to see Rated R place theirs, or do they threaten it?
They're looking at it, right? They are looking at it, but looks like it's going to be matched.
We go with the linear, boring placement. Come on, throw something down in the mid-map in round number 3.
I mean, the map's been pretty close when that's happened on Asylum, right? And
yeah.
So that's 7-4, we've had a 7-6.
Both maps we've seen have had those mid-drops come through, so maybe we do see it in the latter rounds. It's not something you see this early on, to be fair, but Rated R going to make this push over towards the C side of things. Demonic. It's like a scene out of the Lion King. Just hanging off the edge.
Someone pick him up.
Toast up, and the rest of his team getting aggressive over towards C. B is in the hands of Obey Alliance, but Rated R in control again off the initial start of the round. It really hasn't went in their favour at all after this good start. Oh my god, see you later, Toast Warrior. He's letting him know. I didn't even see him push. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That just really tells you how Rated R's map has went so far. As Warrior Guns will now get a free cap over towards C. And here's where Rated R will try to dig a trench, so to speak, as Obey getting aggressive over towards this. They will back on down and will not really lose anything for it. Saki will be picked back up by TJ, who's just really left him to the wolves there and will run away. But Obey Alliance still in control. They will have to back on down here. They will lose B, but they've done well to actually keep people up, if anything, here from.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, TJ, if he'd have stayed any longer, he would have died himself. So better to go back, regroup with your team, fight that 4v instead. And, well, him being alive here has just won his team B, right? So it was the right play in the end. And I don't think his team will hold him against it. Saki, he was in a pretty bad situation there. Let's have a look what's going on. We just see a bit of Lancer-fire. Demonic just got a bit down there. Warrior going to pick up the down. Saki going to kill him off.
Oh, big gunfights going on here though. Saki.
One from Saki, actually.
Yeah, he is going to find a second. Sergio's going to find 2 of his own as well. Nicely done by Sergio. 3 members of Obey Alliance now going down. And still for that though, haven't captured anything. They're finding 3 kills and yet they still...
They're taking too long to make that decision.
They need to be jumping on that straight away. Yeah. They haven't got C. They're going to be forced off C because that's the home hill. They did make a push over towards B, but they haven't been able to get that either. Rated R did the hard work, but the easy part, seemingly not that easy from them. But here come the kills once again. Dragons is going to find 1. Breaker is able to answer back. Dragons finds a second on the Breaker. That's nicely done on the Warrior Guns. That's disgusting from Dragons. And that should be the round. Saki's going to shut him down. But really... nice play out of Dragons. The domination looked like it's going to come through, albeit it has to be something from Saki to slow that one down, and I think it's inevitable. Rated R gets on the board thanks to Dragons, if anything. Phenomenal, but the third was filth.
Filth indeed. It was great technical play, great little display of skill there from Dragons, and actually something we've not really raved about him today. And he's usually one of those two or three players that, you know, they really can display a phenomenal level of skill. So good to see him getting back into the swing of things. Seems to have warmed up his thumbs a little bit and now carrying on with that. The drop shot does get placed. Let's see if that is matched on the other side. Warrior Guns, he does have the option. Just conferring with his team. Looks like he's going to go over to that.
Makes sense.
And just match it out at the moment. Yeah, it does make sense.
I'd have been very surprised to not see it, let's be honest.
Yes, yeah.
Well, into round number 4 we go. Said those drop shots are now up. Breaker getting his a few seconds after Dragon, so maybe bear that in mind if you really want to talk about small advantages later on in the rounds. But here we go. There's going to be a push towards C for Obey. He chooses to use it, slams it down. He's going to find Toast as well, although it was just a cleanup. And there's going to be a push now coming through from Obey Alliance, who, after really having a fantastic start, slowed down on that last round, but Dragon, I tell you what, that's a couple of kills. Oh my god! I called it. Saki, TJ, and Breaker, you'll go back to the respawn queue. Dragons times it perfectly. Imagines the push is coming through over towards C, and it's easily done. Rated R shut that one down. They will get a hold of A. They will be in control of this round. Nicely done by Dragons. He's really been the big player for Rated R in these last 2 rounds, and can he go further now? Dov's going to find a kill on Demonic, and they're just going to push them back. Get back in your spawn. Dragons are chasing. He's feeling it now. He finds 1, and Sergio does as well. Dragons find a second. It's the round of Rated R. Just give them it at this point. 2-2, and Dragons just went off for his team.
You're going to need a highlight reel just for Dragons.
I'm not struggling for top 5 players this week, I'll tell you that.
Oh, you're not wrong.
We've still got another game.
You're not. That's true, actually. I forgot about that. We do indeed. EU's finest versus R damage coming up next, but right now, Rated R tying things up at 2-2. The drop shots are on the board. Dragons making sure that Obey know about that. Let's see what Obey
You just seen it happen in slow motion, didn't you? You seen him moving over. You seen him lining it up. You seen every single member of Obey Alliance.
Yeah. You know, I was just about to say as well, this is the beauty of you know, this map is that, well, for Obey at least, they had that drop shot to that fight so much quicker because it's on the route to the fight, right? Which is technically an advantage for Obey in 100%. The opening. But in the end, it's about placement, it's about utilization. Obey, they only cleaned up and down. Dragons, 3 of his own.
Warrior Guns going to find the first kill on Toast, and Dragons will trade that one away with 1 onto TJ this time round. Doesn't find 3, that's a big flash going to go through from both teams. Actually, Breaker's going to have to back on down, but Warrior Guns will slow the push himself. Big fight over towards B here. Nobody really seemingly winning the tug of war quite yet. Sergio's going to find a kill on the Warrior Guns. We'll eventually clean that one up as well. Breaker's going to have to back on down. Saki's going to find 1, but will get traded, so this is just about going in the favor of Rated R. Yeah, we'll get a hold of B, and we'll get control of this round. Toast and Co are rotating now over towards A to help defend this one. And Leonard is nicely set up for this one. That's a nice play by Rated R, isn't it? They get B, and then they see where the danger potentially lies, and they just reinforce this point of the fort, if you like, and nicely done. Really nice map movement by Rated R. And that's the thing with Vasgar. You really can transfer quite quickly through that mid-map.
Yeah, it is, and that's the question we were asking of them earlier, is like, why are you taking so long to respond? They seem to have addressed that. Definitely much quicker to respond that time around. A really nice play, and they are here to at least try and defend this fight. Obey, they're going to give it their all here. They are seemingly going to get control of the A hill, sorry, as Breaker gets a kill. Looking for his second now as he fights up against Toast. Yes, Toast gets demolished there as Breaker just flies straight through him. Cape's going everywhere, and he is going to get the A hill for his efforts. But he has got to defend it now. 3 members of Rated R have spawned.
B looking like it's going to go over towards Obey Alliance as well, and Breaker will smartly back on down. Best thing to do in that situation. Never really going to win that gunfight, and we're taking something special. We'll preserve his life, and we'll just back on down. Just about. He does manage to survive, and his team have control of the map. They have the lead. Here comes a push from Rated R. I think Breakers went through, I want to say, just not spotted there, but he has been spotted from mid-map. Saki will find the kill on the Dragons as well, so these are really going in the favor of Obey Alliance, these engagements. Right now, it looks like they should take a 3-2 lead here. They're in control of the map. They have the lead. Just need to hold on for another 30 seconds or so.
Yep, Leonard just being forced backwards. Just managed to get that high ground there, so it is difficult for Obey to push through. Obey, though, they're just going to back off. They don't need to push this. There's no real need to. They've got control. Let's have a look at the overhead. Let's see what's going on. Dragons, he is just hanging out over by the B. The drop shot does get picked up by Toast, so he's probably going to push this through. The fight coming in. Drop shot by Saki is terrible. Takes out TJ. Dov going to get a C-Hill decap for his efforts, and depends if this other one can connect. Doesn't manage to. Nothing on the board there. Swarm still will win, but looks like the decap at B has come in. C's going to get capped back up, and it should be Obey's round. Toast, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do anything about this. B-Hill as well, also going in Obey's favor. So in the end, Obey do manage to get it, but not for a couple of bad plays, really putting it right on the wire.
Yeah, a couple of those drop shots wasted on either side of things. So Obey Alliance now 3-2 up.
I want to just point out some of the scores here. 21-5.
19 is
so
3. Far in the favor of Obey, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Saki again leading the pack, both in kills and deaths for his team. But 23 kills, eliminations. Yeah, it's still over 2.0 KDA.
I think would it be Saki without a relentless amount of engagements? I don't think so.
No, not at all.
Warrior Guns having another good game here, 21-5. He had a horrible map number 1. I'll be honest. I mean, across the board, he didn't. He's massively stepped it up, though. You're very, very right. Well, the drop shot lock does come through, so that will not be a factor for another 3 rounds for either team. So none of these to worry about, and I think, if you're Obey Alliance, you're probably pretty happy about that, because Rated R were probably the ones getting things done a little bit better. Breaker and Cut getting aggressive over towards C, and will get shut down. Rated R with a really, really nice hold. Now they move over towards A. This could be a domination coming through. Demonic is going to win a gunfight up top and drop Sergio as well. It's one-man army here from Demonic. He's going to get taken down, as is TJ. That's the domination. That's 3-3. And for all I said, that I feel as if, the lack of drop shot coming through suits Rated R. Clearly, suits Obey Alliance clearly does not, as Rated R get a very clean round.
That was clean. It was nice. That initial fight was just so smoothly done. They hardly lost anyone. They did have someone being a little bit sneaky in the passage through to the middle crater, and that's where the push came from in the end. It was that member hiding out. As soon as the down came in, he flew out of his hidey hole. Managed to get it. Let's see what Breaker's up to on this opener.
Push towards tank is not as influential this time around, of course, as the hills now moved. I'm just thinking to myself, why is nobody else from Rated R over here? It's because it's the hills that moved Chris. That's why. Anyway, F has already been captured by Rated R. The flash is now starting to come through, and Obey Alliance will momentarily get a little bit of control of this site here. Flash is coming back from Rated R. Not quite as solid. Too many members of Obey, and I think if you're Rated R, you'll do well to win anything here. Dragons is going to get taken down, but as is Breaker. Sergio is just seemingly firing in from the other side of things, and that's making things very difficult for Obey up top on this ramp. Breaker will get taken down, but they will get a hold of the hill if it belongs to them. Rated R with the numbers now to retake. Push now coming through. The Lance of Fire solid from both two teams. Toast is just about going to get taken down, as is Sergio. Everybody dropping. Obey Alliance holding back and just defending better than Rated R did. They're in a better position to do so, but the Lance of Fire from them has been solid here. A lot of members of Rated R going down. Obey Alliance should be in control of F yet. They will get a hold of D in a second as well, but a lot of bodies dropping.
Yeah, the problem is that Obey were doing that with a person advantage there, so That's why you see Obey's Hill getting decapped. It's why you see the score. Even though Obey were winning that fight and had that cap down, they are just about at an advantage, but not horrendously so. Let's have a look elsewhere on the map. Let's see what's going down. The E Hill gonna get pretty easily decapped, as no one really there from Obey to help out at all. TJ's gonna go back to his home hill. The F Hill still a little bit of a stalemate here. Saki's there, Demonix here, Warriors here as well. Dragon Sergio. They're 2 against 3, so...
Yeah, I mean, the thing is here for Obey Alliance, they have the lead, so they sort of probably say to themselves, well, we don't need to be the ones that need to make this push here. We can wait for the push to come through from Rated R, albeit I'd like to think that is quite a negative mindset. At the same time, they're at the win condition right now. I suppose they don't need to really make a move here.
Not particularly, you know, that this is a nice setup.
Yeah, this is fine.
You got TJ as well. He can just quickly rotate to help Breaker if Breaker sees anything. The Breaker sat up here because he's got good vision across pretty much all of that open space.
Yeah, they're gonna have to move now. They do move. They will find at least 2 kills here. Breaker now just trying to defend here as well, but I can imagine that when Obey Alliance do get a hold of get a hold of F over the other side, I think they probably continue to push, but Leonard is actually going to win this gunfight over towards D. Can he win the second as well? This would be important if he could. Maybe he gets caught out a little bit there, TJ.
Just baited out.
Yeah, never going to lose that one. Nicely done, and it's going to be DNF in the control of Obey Alliance.
But it is. Now Rated R finally getting a bit of control over their home hill.
Seemingly,
taking a while.
Yeah, nobody is really like placing their resources well enough here. You know, they're winning the gunfights, but they're not in a good spot to be able to capture anything.
Both teams playing not to lose rather than to win. Yeah, I hear that. I think that's a fairly accurate representation of what's going on currently. In the end, Rated R, they managed to get hold of this. The F going in the way of Obey, and it's pretty much neck and neck. I'm trying to see which tick's going up faster. I think it might be Cog ever so slightly at the moment. And with that F hill as well being under their control, they might be alright. I say that just as Obey do.
Yeah, they make the push for D. They want to try and get a hold of this one. Demonix going to have to do well to keep a hold of this one. Saki now in a really bad spot as well. He's going to find Toast and will actually get out with his life, albeit has lost D. But his team should be capturing E this time, so this is going to be a very close round, whichever way it does go. It's a very slight lead for Obey. They're getting aggressive back over towards D as well, and it might be the domination coming through. It's the elimination in the end. And just like that, we had a very, very close round, a very, very tight round all the way through. We got 3 minutes and 48 seconds, and then the elimination comes through, as the aggression has to come through from Rated R. Obey Alliance a step ahead this time round. Drop shot still locked for another round. Which way do they choose to go? And imagine it's still a home hill orientated drop. It is. Smoke grenade going to go through for Obey Alliance. I'd imagine that will probably get matched over towards tickets from Rated R. It does so. Smoke's going down there as well. 4-3 now to Obey Alliance. They get a lead once again. I don't think Rated R have ever been in the lead yet. I think it's always been draw or Obey Alliance, and Rated R always fighting from behind. Those drop shots though were probably a little bit more influential for them. Mostly down Dragons, to be honest with you. So when they come back up, look for Rated R to try and get back into this game.
That's it. You see Rated R putting a lot of pressure here on that F hill. They've decided that's the fight they want to take. They don't want to fight the neutral fight. They want to go over. And that's because of the weapon advantage that you would see on the neutral side.
Sergio trying to get something done, just trying to distract if he can. The rest of his team, though, dropping down on the other side of things. They're going to have to back down off F. That is going to go over towards Obey Alliance.
Yeah, Sergio did die in that 1v1, so Obey in a good spot here.
Because he died in that 1v1. The extension comes through to D. It's just a decap, and I think it probably will be a back up on the other side of things as well. But nicely done by Obey. Demonic getting things done as well. Leonard goes down. Toast is possibly going to be the last one, but the kill's actually coming in the favor of Rated R. They will be able to get a hold of F. The elimination is going to come through. Nicely done by Rated R. How has that happened?
That's happened because Sergio has just gone clutch again for his team. We weren't on his perspective, but he was trapped up in that little corner with 2 members around him, and he's managed to come out with both kills. Toast has managed to clutch up against the person behind him as well, and well, that's just pure gunfight
and that's
material
the thing,
there.
Yeah, it's the thing with escalation is that it can really be one team in complete control, and like that, it changes.
Just like that.
4-4
Marks
now.
are going down. So this is a weapon we've not seen in a long time, actually.
And like considering at the beginning of the game, how everyone talked about the marks, we really have not seen it very often. So
I think the Coalition have done a good job in nerfing it, to be quite honest with you. They've put it more in line with what it's supposed to be. Let's have a look at how it's going to get used, shall we? Because Warrior Guns is the person without. It's not going to get used at all at this at this rate. Warrior Guns going to get taken out very, very quickly. He's going to get pushed up on by Toast as well. And he's in a pretty bad spot. His team need to extract him. They need to get him out here. They don't have any of those smoke grenades to work with, so just going to be up to technical skill. Breaker picks up 2 with a drop shot. Of course, they are back on the map. That's probably a bit more exciting, actually, than talking about the Markser.
Big gunfight for Toast to win. He does take down Warrior, who did have that Markser as well.
Looking for
plenty of damage into Demonic. Not quite enough, though. Shot's going to come through here from Demonic once again as well, though. Getting aggressive with the rest of his team. This should be an F capture. This is potentially a domination on the cards. I think Dov and Co will just about shut that one down. Dov, just a missed player there, though. Now Leonard has to try and get something done. He's going to be dropped. That's the domination coming through. Backwards and forwards. Trading blow for blow. Neither one of these teams really been able to separate each other. As said, it's been Obey Alliance either with the draw or the win in their favor so far. It has never been a lead for Rated R. But we're heading towards those squeaky bum time rounds. This is truly third map fever now for we're nearly getting there. Torque Bows going down. Boom shot going down, so something different on either side of things.
This is an Obey special. I don't know why I'm putting the controller. I'm trying to put the controller down in so I can just sit and watch.
But you need that, pal.
Yeah, I'm dictating this camera work, so let's...
I'm not going to pretend to say that I can observe better than you.
No, so. I want to see what we're going to utilise this Torque Bow to. Because this is one of the maps I actually feel the Torque Bow and the Boom Shot match up quite well, because you do have these extremely, tall sightlines. You're up above the cover. You can see exactly what's going on. You can see that Dragon's just down Sergio, and now Warrior Guns with this Torque Bow does manage to stick Toast, does take one, looking for his second.
Dragons is going to answer back, though. And he is probably just going to try and finish that kill. Can't quite do that, so the Torque Bow wasted. If you are Obey Alliance, the drop shot very, very well used by Rated R. And the one's in control now. Warrior Guns trying to get something done here. And will not quite find Dragon. Dov with literally milliseconds gets there in time to get his teammate up. TJ will drop over towards E. This could potentially be a domination going to come through. F is going to be decapped though, and Obey Alliance will continue to survive this round. Rated R doing well, staying in this one. Breaker, I don't think he's used any of this. No, a bullet still remaining.
See what he can do with this then.
Yeah, I think he's just going to use it to try and make this push over towards E. Oh, that's not good. It's just bounced off Demonic's head.
He's just ended it out of the way.
That's infuriating.
Yeah,
Either way.
That is indeed.
That's one of those. That's just 1 in a million timing. And look at the defensive hold from Rated R here. Toast is going to get dropped, but they have plenty of members here. TJ finds Dov as well. Rated R going to have to back up here.
Yep, high ground in Obey's advantage. They have got the kills as well.
Break, I realise, it's probably going to be a rotation over towards F.
Yep, and we see as well on the D hill there is a bit of a pinch coming in, so Leonard, he needs to do the work here. Let's jump on him from his perspective. Obey TJ does fall down. Saki's going to get the down in the end, but not to matter. Drop shot there in front of him. 2 members of Rated R as well being left to force the fight, but Saki gets one, looking for his second here. Toast, is he the next victim? I'm not too sure. Saki just doing well here to play his life, just drawing time out of Toast as Breaker, he's on the flank, and Toast, he's going to try and use that drop shot. Does use it well, as it is replied on.
And I think if you're Saki, you're happy with that. You know, the fact that you've drawn the drop shot out there, it's not too bad of a situation.
Is Breaker then replying with yours, right?
Yeah.
You've done the work to force the drop shot out, to make the play, and then your drop shot is wasted after that. That's an issue. But yes, you're right. His own play, that was well managed.
Well, he is going over towards Obey now as they just force the issue. Get very aggressive towards the site and just jump onto it and say, right, come on then. Let's get amongst it. Dragons, though, he slipped the net. Has he managed to just about beat him to it? Not quite. Dragons will go down. Obey just about survived that charge, and it could be just in time. 25 seconds. The win condition is with them. Leonard has that boom shot. Demonic and Co, though, are trying to hold E here. That's a big gunfight for him to win onto Sergio. He's going to find Dov as well with the help of his teammate. Demonic will push them back once again. And Obey have just held their hill so well. Leonard's going to find nothing with the boom shot. And once again, Obey Alliance are going to be in a winning position. 6-4 now. We're going to need to see 2 rounds in a row from Rated R just to tie this one up. I need to have a look at the respawns here to see where we're at. Everybody apart from Dov, pretty safe, it has to be said. So
Yeah, it's a much better situation than it was last time around, that's for sure.
Talkbow has now been
halved,
and Boomshot has now been halved as well. I couldn't quite see because the scoreboard was in the way.
I'll
All right, cheers, mate. Nice one.
I'll put it down. Yeah, all the Talkbow's halved. That's going to keep coming up, right? As is the Boomshot. It's an interesting one because obviously Boomshot has that immediate impact as soon as you get the shot down. Let's have a look what's going on over this fight. We are going to jump on board with Dragons. So he's going to just have a look at this E-Hill, actually. Well, let's see what we can do here. So we get to Warrior Guns, the Talkbow, trying to use it around the tank area. Much more difficult to use it on this side.
Got to be careful, your teammates in the way as well. He's going to stick it through. How has he managed that?
Threading the
Toast
needle.
goes down. I think he put it through his teammate's legs. TJ, just open up wide, mate. Drop shot comes through, finds nothing. He might just find a Talkbow.
He's hit it as well.
Oh my word. That is Legolas-like accuracy coming out of Warrior Guns, who will find Dragons. And it just seems as if the tide is with Obey Alliance right now. Dov is going to answer back yet with a boom, though. So we'll slow them down momentarily, but right now, Rated R are getting nothing on the board, and the aggressive push comes through. We know them for their aggression. It's so solid, but Breaker is there just to slow it down with a double kill with the drop shot. Saki will find one also, and Obey Alliance not quite cruising, but they're getting there. They are nearly there now to win against Rated R. They did it last time on Vasgar. Are they going to do it again here? Sergio trying to defend, but plenty of shots going to come through. He's going to get taken down. I don't think a kill has went over towards Rated R in quite some time. It feels like the round is going to go to Obey very shortly as well. The Swarm domination is denied. Toast trying to get something done here, but Dragons is going to find a kill of his own as Toast does go down, so they will get a hold of F. They have a lifeline still. They are still alive in this game.
That they are. We see Leonard. He's just trying to get some kills. TJ holding that angle. Demonic rolls back into the shotgun. Dragons has managed to pick up a Talk, though, as well from somewhere. Sergio with the drop shot as well, and Rated R may be able to clutch this off. Shades of Obey in the last game, clutching up with just a second to go on that hill. That's going to go in the favor of Rated R, and we are going to see them push on. Let's jump over and see what's going on this fight at the other side.
Win condition. Sergio's going to find a kill with a drop shot. The thing is here, though, Rated R have a lot to play with to try and get a hold of D here. Decapping it would be enough. Toast is going to find a kill on the Warriors. TJ is going to drop Sergio. The kill's starting to come through, though, and they're looking like they're going over towards Obey momentarily. There's a 3 versus 3 for just a second as Dov does find TJ. Warrior Guns just trying his best to stay alive. The domination may potentially come through, but they have decapped it. They've done the hard work. Warrior Guns just hitting people with his gun. He's still going. How on earth is he still alive? Warrior Guns just is sitting there bashing his B button, just hitting everybody.
Just playing whack-a-mole with the heads of Rated R there.
As it goes, this will probably change to a Swarm win condition, and it will stay as a Swarm win condition, as it does actually just flip-flop in terms of, I tell you what, TJ's missed the shot, but they are eventually going to find Sergio. This should be an Obey Alliance win. Rated R still have it in their locker here. The kill's going in Obey Alliance's favor, though. Dragons is dropped. Sergio's gone. Leonard's out the game. This is Obey Alliance with a map number 3 win against Rated R on Vasgar once again. A 7-4 victory in map number 3. They will get it done 2-1. Our very first map number 3 of the EU Pro League. And Obey Alliance get it done in style.
They do indeed. Talkbow there coming out clutch as well.
This Warrior Guns battering people, just battering people in around the site. We'll love to see it.
And then let's just take stock of that scoreboard there for Obey. 45 kills across the board for most of them. Fantastic showing. And once again, they get it done on Vasgar. As you said, it seems to be a good map for them. They seem to have Rated R's number on it. And yeah, they played it very well.
Very well. I think they just rotated a lot better, to be honest with you. Yeah, the gunfights were definitely going in their favor as well, but it just felt as if these rotations around the map, they just seemed to understand it a little bit better. I think if I am Rated R now, who are going to well and truly be sitting at the bottom of that leaderboard now, after that, they're the only team left on 2 points. This is how they found themselves actually losing this game. Map number 1, they did go on to win it. They win control in Icebound. And Obey Alliance somehow came back into the game. And from there, they sailed home, in all honesty. 7-4 either side of a 7-6 on Icebound. But it does go in Obey Alliance's favour. They will move up now to 4 points. And it will be Rated R rock solid at the bottom of this leaderboard at the end of week number 4, no matter what happens now. So they're in a bad spot. It has to be said through. But I think the heartbreaking thing for Rated R is it could be so different.
Yeah,
It could be
three rounds, and they're actually sitting probably at the top of the leaderboard, to be honest with you.
Potentially.
They could have won this 2-0.
Against Obey first time round when they lost Vazgar 7-6, that would have forced a map number 3. Against our damage, it would have forced a map number 3. So it's not like guarantees, but at least like giving yourself the opportunity to get it done. They're losing too many 7-6s. They have to be able to fix that. That's one of these things when it comes to the crunch. They do not have that clutch factor. They just don't have it at this moment in time. If they can find it, they become a very, very dangerous team. They become very, very dangerous. But at this moment in time, they just don't seem to have that little spark at the time that it matters.
Nope.
Whereas the rest of the team seem to be able to get it done. You think about that TJ play. You think about look, you would say about the Dragons play in that game on Vazgar where Radar started that one when they started to come back into the game was really, really good. But when it gets to these latter rounds, that's where they seem to struggle. And it's showing in the results.
For me, that's leadership. That's having someone in that team that can, drag you through there. Whether that is, whether it is Breaker or whether it's, your coach in the background as well. That, there are other members outside of just the core 5 that can help you get over these kind of situations. Obey, they seem to be able to do it. They are a team that have been around, for a long time. They've been playing together for a long time.
Couple of 7-6s went in their favour.
They've managed to be able to claw out these rounds, and they don't lose faith when they do go into those round 13s. EU's Finest, they're another team that they can scrap out and they can win those round 13s, and that, for me, is the mark of a good team, is that when everything is on the line, you can still perform how you've been performing for the rest of the map. Rated R, they've got a question to ask: what is the problem? Hopefully they can fix it for the next 2 weeks.
They're going to be looking for the answer. They will be playing next week, of course. So let's see if they can find it then. However, we are going to go to game number 2. Don't adjust your watches or your headsets. That's the thing they used to say when TVs were going wrong. Don't adjust your monitors, whatever you're watching on, because we still haven't started game number 2. A couple of technical issues here and there, and it goes all the way to a map number 3. We will be seeing EU's Finest against our damage right after this very quick break.